Website for details. Asante came to TurboTax after graduating from culinary school and landing a job in the hottest kitchen in town.
My hands are full all day, every day. I love it.
Asante, as your TurboTax expert, I'll make your moves count, guaranteeing 100% accurate filing and your maximum refund. Sound good?
Yes, expert.
Switch to Intuit TurboTax and make your moves count. See guarantee details at turbotax.com/guarantees. Experts only available with TurboTax Live.
I'm Chris Sylvester with NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network. Chiefs head coach Andy Reid said Tuesday it would be a long shot for both guard Joe Thuney and running back Jerick McKinnon to play in Super Bowl 58 Sunday. Thuney missed the AFC Championship game with pectoral injury, and McKinnon has been on injured reserve since December, battling a groin injury. Meantime, the Chargers agreed to terms with Jesse Minter to become their new defensive coordinator, according to NFL Network insiders Tom Pelissero and Ian Rappaport. Minter spent the last 2 seasons as Michigan's DC with Jim Harbaugh. The Chargers also agreed to terms with Greg Roman to become their new offensive coordinator. Former Vikings head coach and Cowboys defensive coordinator Mike Zimmer interviewed with Dallas Tuesday for their current DC vacancy. According to NFL Network insider Tom Pelissero, the Cowboys also interviewed Ron Rivera Monday for the same position. Pelissero also reporting the Dolphins are hiring former Packers defensive coordinator Joe Barry as the team's linebackers coach and run game coordinator. This has been NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network.
Chris Brockman here from the world-famous Rich Eisen Show. Football's regular season may be over, but that doesn't mean your fantasy season is. The big game is right around the corner, and basketball season is really heating up. There's no better way to get in on the action than with PrizePicks, the #1 daily fantasy sports app. This isn't like other daily fantasy apps where you're playing against a bunch of sharks. It's just you against the numbers. And with the right selections, you could turn $10 into $1,000 with just a few taps. For the big game, I'm picking San Francisco's running back over touchdowns and Kansas City's tight end over receptions. With over 7 million sports fans already signed up, I am one of them. Right now, PrizePicks will match your first deposit up to $100. They're even offering a big game special. If Kansas City's quarterback throws for more than 1 yard, you win. Just download the PrizePicks app and use the code PRIMETIME. That's code PRIMETIME on PrizePicks for a first deposit match of up to $100. PrizePicks. Pick more. Pick less. It's that easy. Must be present in certain states. Visit PrizePicks.com for restrictions and details.
Equitable Bank. We take banking personally. EquitableOnline.com.
Tickets for less. Best seats, best prices, no service fees. Shop ticketsforless.com. KOZN Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs. This is 1620 The Zone.
A crossover is crossover dribble. Sing for the crossover. Kyrie Irving, crossover in the lane. One of the most famous crossovers of all time. Behind the back, an ankle breaker on Chris Paul. Crossover. Double crossover. The crossover continues to evolve.
The crossover brought to you by Everlevel Concrete Repair in Omaha at everlevelconcrete.com. What's up, boys? Everlevel. It'll make your driveway ever level.
Wow, that's nice. Hopefully it could, maybe they could contract Everlevel to work on all of our streets. Because it is.
In town or here just in our parking lot?
Well, sure.
Everywhere.
We could start in our parking lot, but then we expand out to all of the streets in Omaha. It's rough out there.
It is rough out there, especially in the hard streets of Northwest Omaha.
So today's got this real, like, you're very familiar with this, Nick, because you've coached a lot of baseball and played a lot of baseball. It's got this real March 29th warmth but also at the same time cold and dark.
Yep.
Yeah, it's got March 29th baseball to it. It's
that.
Giving March 29th.
I like that. On February 7th, it's very March 29th out there.
Yeah. That's where
I like that.
That's our weather update for the day.
Yeah.
Good update.
I was walking in and I was like, yeah, I would be, if I was in like a dugout somewhere, I'd be wearing exactly what I'm wearing.
Yeah.
Just a hoodie, put the hands in the pocket.
Uh-huh.
Wind's kind of bad, mildly unbearable at times. And, but still fine to play baseball here in our fine state of Nebraska.
I think I thought about that last week on one of the days of, that's if we were practicing outside, this is what I'd be wearing.
Yeah.
Like I'd have maybe the lighter coat on, but I'd probably hoodie it up.
So Nebraska's going over. It looks like they've been going over to the newly actually. I think it's Sherman.
Are they at Sherman now?
I think they turfed Sherman.
Oh, did they turf Sherman? I didn't realize they turfed Sherman.
That's what it looked like to me based on the pictures. But
I just assumed they had
Hartog. Shermanator.
The old Shermanator, which was a lovely grass field.
Yeah, Sherman was cool.
We played a state tournament there one time in the summer. It was a lot of fun.
They did the
one
cool
time
cutouts.
I made a state tournament in my life.
Nice.
Yeah. We got third.
What area did you represent? There's area 1, area 2, area 3.
Okay,
area 4.
That's a mildly good story. So we had a tough.
That's the goal.
Not a great story, but a mildly good one.
We had a pretty tough district. It was like it was us. We were pretty good.
Oh, you guys were like 1 then, weren't you? Or like 1 and 2 combined, because was it like prep in there too?
Well, it was. I don't know how they did. I don't know how they matched up. I think they just seeded through and whatever it was. And so this was in Legion Ball one year, and we had a really tough one. It was like us, Millard North and Bellevue East, who was good, and they had some good players at the time. And so only 2 make it out, right? And we won our first 3 games against we beat like South, and then we beat Millard North, and then we beat Bellevue East, and then we were gonna play the kind of district final basically between those 3 teams, and the rest of the district got rained out, so we won by default. It was amazing. And so we got to play our state tournament at Sherman instead of
like Hastings,
I think Kearney or something like that. And I was like, wow, that's the greatest rain out of all time. And then we played prep in the state tournament, won a game there. Well, I think we won 3 games there.
See, coaching, I was always happy where we got to stay like closer, but when I played it, the further we could go away from home, I just thought that was a lot cooler.
Sure. Yeah.
But like as a coach, I was like, can we be in Omaha, please? Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. As player, sure. Let's go to Kearney.
Yeah. We'll go to Lexington. Why not?
Why not?
Scotts Bluff, you hosting?
What are the facilities like out in Lexington? They got a nice,
I don't know.
They got a nice park out there.
I can honestly say I think I've not gone, other than playing high school baseball. We played in a tournament out in Colorado, out in Cherry Creek. But as far as coaching, I don't think I ever went west of North Platte. Yeah.
North
Platte was in our league.
We played one district for spring ball one year out at Grand Island, and we got crushed and left. It was Josh Sheffert's Lincoln Southeast team.
Okay, yeah.
And I remember Josh Sheffert was like hucking 92 or whatever off the mound.
Yep.
And he hit one of our dudes in the head. and it was just like one of those things where like, damn, I think we need to go home.
I do remember being an Omaha kid the first time we ever went to like Kearney or Grand Island. I thought like this is as west as you can get in Nebraska too. Like what?
There's more.
You can actually go further west, and you're not in Colorado.
There's several more hours left of just stuff out.
It was the most amazing thing.
Just nothing.
And it felt like it was a full day trip. Now it's like, oh, it's only like a couple hours, but in your head, it's like, God, it took us like day and night to get there.
Imagine hopping on the bus and going to North Dakota.
Oh my hell no! No, I wouldn't even know what to do. Like, what is going on here?
Aaron says, I'm going to the Waste Management Open this weekend in Phoenix.
Yeah. Screw you, Aaron.
Good call by Aaron. It's going to be upper 30s to 61.
Yeah,
I'm mad.
I heard they're getting some rain too, or at least there was some rain in the forecast.
I saw. Yeah, Vegas was getting hit by rain, and they don't know how to deal with any of that stuff.
No.
So,
man, that sucks. Like waste management,
it just immediately floods.
And I said it to Aaron because I'm actually jealous, but I guess I'm not jealous because
no, it's fine. You get that sun. It's dry. It's a dry heat. It's a dry 61.
We did. So the only time I've ever gone to that, we went to the Pro-Am,
which was like what, the day before?
Yeah, it would be on
so like today.
Yep. And a guy that.
So we're going to be seeing highlights out for dudes making dudes trying to make the green on 17 or whatever
16,
it is. 16, yeah.
So we had stadium suite tickets on 16 through someone my wife worked with. That was a blast. Like, and so I can only imagine, like, so that was the Pro-Am. It was like, I think $125 for all you could eat, all you can drink.
Okay.
In those suites.
Lock it in.
Yep. Oh, it was a great deal. And supposedly there was like a cap on your drink allowance. No.
Where would they cap it?
Well, you got the wristband, and then you have like various bars in like the actual stadium part on 16, and they scan your little wristband
so they can tell how many you've had.
Yeah, and I thought it was like supposed to be 7, maybe. And I exceeded that so fast. And so I'm like, I'm just going to try and see if it works. And it worked for like 3 or 4 more.
So they just.
So I called it was all you could drink.
So they know how many drinks you've had, and they, maybe when you're at 9 or 10, they're like, they just look at you funny.
Yeah. Or the scanner is just like, okay, you need to abide by this, but it probably doesn't even scan. It's probably just beeps just to throw out a deterrent.
Yeah. Just so you know,
right, you're good.
Just so you know, you are overserved right now.
I'm aware. As long as it beeps, it means you're in the system and you didn't make up that bracelet, I guess. I don't know. But it was cool, but it was a zoo on that Wednesday. So I could only imagine what it's like on the actual tournament itself.
And you got the Super Bowl.
Yes.
In Vegas.
Well, and last year it was in Phoenix.
Mm-hmm.
So you had the Waste Management and the Super Bowl, which was pretty crazy. But that is one of those events, even if you're not a golf fan, you got to check out because it is like no other PGA event you've ever gone to because it's just a party. It's a walking party.
And there's such great vibes because the rest of the country is experiencing hell on earth, which is
true.
Winter. Now it's been not so bad for us this year, but that's part of the charm of going to a place like Phoenix in February or March. That's why spring training is so cool.
Yes.
Yeah, people love baseball, but it's really about just getting away for a week and going in good weather.
But is Aaron trying to hint to us that we have better weather here than they will at the Waste Management?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I'm sure they have sun there. We don't have much of that.
We might flirt with 60 today, tomorrow. It's possible.
But it's like I said, it's a March 29th, 60.
You're right about that sun, though. When you go out there, we played golf in the morning of one of the baseball trips. We were playing in Tempe, and I remember we teed off like 7 a.m. and it was like probably 40. As soon as like the sun came out, like within a 5-minute span, it was like 75.
Sleeves are coming off.
I'm like, whoa, okay, that escalated quickly.
Let the boys out.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
And you'll see it on social media in the next couple of days. People posting pictures out there. Yeah, I get a little jealous.
Hey, great news! I got this in my my inbox this morning, the Equitable Bank inbox.
Take banking personally.
We get many emails of surveys. Are you on the survey list, Nick?
Yes, I am.
Okay, great. You must have received this one as well. It really caught my attention. Subject line: Nebraska named most obsessed state with dodgeball the movie, according to new Google study.
I didn't get that. I saw your tweet.
Oh, you missed out. You need to sign up for all these lists.
Yeah.
You don't want to miss out on stuff like this. It has been revealed that Nebraska is the most obsessed state with the movie Dodgeball, ahead of the 20th anniversary of the comedy classic this year.
That's a bit of an upset, isn't it?
It rated... they surveyed people and they gave them 4 different categories. Like, what do you like about Dodgeball? A true underdog story. Do you like, the movie overall?
Are you a big Vince Vaughn fan?
The cast. And then there's a metric called obsession score. Oh. And Nebraska rated 100 in all of the categories.
Gee,
everyone unanimously loves Dodgeball.
What were the questions asked?
Yeah, that's what I'm curious about.
Is there another movie I could be obsessed with? Or
in order to
if you're giving me that option and you ask me if I like the movie, I like the movie. It was funny.
Here's what they did. They identified the top 3 keywords by search volume relating to the film Dodgeball, compiled Google Trend scores for each keyword, calculated a total average score, and ranked states from top to bottom. All data collected and correct as of today.
I'd like to know who's least obsessed with Dodgeball.
Well, they only gave us
fun.
They only gave us the top 10.
Oh, okay. So who are we in company with?
Iowa.
Okay. Are these going to be all Midwest states?
Nebraska and Iowa, handshake
Minnesota.
meme, love Dodgeball, a true underdog story.
Yeah.
I'm guessing Wisconsin's probably on this list.
Yep. Michigan.
You guys, why don't you just keep going? Let's see if you can get all the top 10.
Michigan, Wisconsin, Minnesota.
Okay. Hold on. Let's go. We got Nebraska. We got Iowa. Michigan is not on the list.
Okay.
Wisconsin is.
Okay. North Dakota.
No.
Oh.
Kansas, Missouri.
Check.
Okay.
3 and 7.
Colorado.
Oh, you said Minnesota. Check. 8.
Colorado
6. So we're missing
Oklahoma.
9. We're missing number 4,
South Dakota,
and number 10. No.
Oh, damn it!
Dodgeball didn't stretch into the Dakotas.
So we're the most northernly obsessed dodgeball state.
No, we got Minnesota and Wisconsin.
Oh yeah, Minnesota. Never mind, I forgot about that.
No.
Okay.
Go. Who we missing at this point? Oh yeah, go east. Go east. Go east.
Illinois,
One more east.
Indiana.
Yes,
Yeah,
and then one more east.
Ohio.
Yes,
All
that's your top 10
right. Yeah.
most obsessed states with the movie Dodgeball. Which
Yeah, these sound like dodgeball centric
Yeah,
questions.
it really
Are you
does.
obsessed with the movie Dodgeball?
Yeah. I don't.
Would you go to a gym called Average Joe's?
Yes.
Would you go to a gym called Globo
Go,
Gym?
Jim. Right.
I can't imagine. I wonder what the last most obsessed state with dodgeball is.
I know. Like, who's like,
New York,
Yeah.
California.
Yeah. It's one of those two.
Yeah.
The most highly populated, where they're just like, I ain't got time for that.
Those
stuff.
rubes.
Yeah,
like,
I'd rather watch.
Of course they do.
I'd rather watch the
Because if you're a fan of an underdog, you're a loser.
They love fat shaming in the Midwest.
it's all Midwestern states.
No, we just have a good personality.
These are why these are my people. This is a great list.
Go ahead and make your jokey jokes.
I mean, I really do like the movie.
Here's how they describe it.
If you were to compare it to like some other comedies out there, I don't know if I'd put myself in the obsessed category.
Right.
Dodgeball, a true underdog story, released on June 18th, 2004, stars Ben Stiller and Vince Vaughn, and has gained cult status as one of the funniest movies of its generation.
Wow.
The storyline focuses on a team of underdogs trying to win a big tournament in Las Vegas. Sound familiar?
Should we put that on like the state slogan? Welcome to Nebraska, the good life, and obsessed with the movie Dodgeball.
The most obsessed
the most
state with dodgeball.
Yeah, take that, Iowa.
I gotta find the rest of this list.
So Iowa's number 2?
Iowa's number 2.
That's what I thought. What's up?
Not as obsessed with dodgeball as we are, though. Not even by a long shot. Our obsession score was 100.
Theirs is like what, 98?
88.7.
Oh, there's a big drop off.
We are by
there.
far the most obsessed state with dodgeball.
We were perfect in our score. They're like at a high B, like a B plus.
Yeah.
Do better, Iowa. Caitlin Clark, where you at?
We really affected the curve.
I do love how predictable all the states were.
I know.
That was great.
That's
like,
incredible.
yep, this feels like we're going Midwest here.
Yeah, this is what we're known for in the Midwest, being obsessed with the movie Dodgeball.
There's nothing to do, so they sit at home and watch
Dodgeball
exactly.
all day.
I gotta
That's
say,
exactly what it is.
I do watch Dodgeball a lot. I watch Dodgeball a lot.
There was a time that I watched it all the time. I'm trying to remember the last time I watched it. It's probably been I'm sure I watched it over COVID.
It's always on TV. You're not gonna.
It is one of those movies, and this is a sign of a good movie. It's one of those movies. If it's on, you don't even feel like the need to like, oh, I'm going to go to Netflix and watch that. You're like, you know what? I'll suffer through the commercials if they're there.
I know
this
is gonna sound funny, but there's very little fluff. You know, they kind of get to it. Like, half of the movie is them playing in the tournament.
Mm-hmm.
You know, which is great. And you got Pepper.
Currently streaming
Pepper needs new shorts
on Peacock.
Oh, it's on. Okay,
we love Peacock.
Yeah, we do.
Nebraska.
Now, see, that's probably what it is. We are big Peacock subscribers because that's where we can see our beloved teams play.
Shout out to the Big Ten.
Yep, Big Ten. Thank you.
We are going to be quoting the movie Dumb and Dumber a lot today, more than normal, in honor of Creighton's road trip to Providence.
Oh yeah, I like that. Way to go!
It's topical enough where we can actually do it.
That is good.
You left your briefcase at the airport, you big goof.
See the random quotes, the ones that don't always get the most run. That's the best way to go, and that's one of them right there.
I've already texted John to bring me home a copy of Rhode Island
Gripes. I don't.
An old lady on a motorized cart didn't even see it coming.
Feels like you're running at an incredible rate, Harry.
Hockey Dad says, evidently, I am the only person who has never seen Dodgeball.
Oh,
certainly the only person in Nebraska who's never seen Dodgeball.
Clearly, he wasn't polled because we had 100% hit rate.
Obsession score.
Obsession score is at 100.
It's a new metric. It's going on Ken Palm later.
Oh, I like that. So it's as teams are trying to, especially when you're on the bubble, we got to look at an obsession rate.
Yeah.
Now, how do we break down the obsession rate? Leads to a different question, but
I
like that.
There's many things that go into various metrics. You don't know always what they are, but they're they're there.
So are you guys going to be doing like just, I mean, it's going to be thrown into conversation throughout the day, or are we doing like every hour, top of the hour?
No. It's not on
quotes?
It's not on schedule.
No schedule.
Well, I will say, Connor doesn't know this yet. At 1 o'clock, we will be holding a benefit for the snow owls.
A couple bowls of loudmouth soup. I don't know if there was a movie that I laughed harder in the theater than that.
Thank you. Thank you. Because I have seen a lot of people make fun of me because of my obsession with this movie. And they ask, the stupid question, hey, what's your favorite this? What's your favorite that? What's your favorite movie? My auto response is always Dumb and Dumber. And they're like, okay.
It says a lot about your intelligence.
Yeah. Okay, buddy. What do you mean? It's not Shawshank Redemption like everybody else?
Yeah.
What's wrong with you?
I was 12. I didn't quite get all the jokes at the time,
right?
But I laughed my head off.
Yeah.
Like Petey.
Don't pretend you were a Boondock Saints fan. You didn't even know what it was back then.
Exactly.
But it makes you sound more cool and more well-adjusted with cinema. Something About Mary got me pretty good.
Yeah, good one.
Basketball.
That one's on TV less now.
That scene alone, by the way, very politically incorrect.
Yes.
But that scene alone, I was in tears.
So we don't bust his chops.
Yes.
I watched a lot of Along Came Polly. I watched a lot of Along Came
on a
Polly.
leash. Along Came Polly. That one's pretty good. But yeah, basketball, and then we did see the South Park movie. Yeah, and when they started singing "Uncle, You Know What," I was laughing pretty hard about that too. That was a child.
The South Park movie,
yeah,
like the first one.
Yeah, the first one, and then it's like
I don't even remember what it was about at this point.
Basically, Terrence and Phillip, they're trying to like.
Go to war with America.
Yeah, it's basically the Canada-American War because of Terrence and Phillip. Yeah, that just gives you a good premise right there.
Hey, they're still kicking, right? There's still new South Park episodes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
What season are we in there?
But yeah, still Dumb and Dumber, probably
25,
probably cultivated in the
season 26,
the TurboTax scene. That's probably where I just absolutely lost it.
Season 6 ended last year, so season 27, sorry, should be coming out soon.
You guys realize that scene in Dumb and Dumber, by the way, the TurboTax scene? So many comedies have tried to recreate that since. Where
guy poops.
Someone's gonna poop in the toilet. It's gonna be really long, and he gets caught in like either the women's bathroom, like an American Pie, or
nobody can do it like Harry Dunn.
Yeah, sorry, especially with the squeak at the end when he goes. Yeah.
Look,
flush you bastard.
It's not highbrow, just is what it is.
I'm 45 and I'm laughing like I just saw it again. So good.
And Mary's just,
I love how you guys do that in honor of the Providence game. That is so good.
Providence.
You know how many people have seen that movie? Probably won't even get they're like, what? I don't get
Pretty Bird.
Only happens once a season.
Gas man. How do the hell they know I have gas?
They know I got
They must be pros.
Okay, so that's coming up today.
You guys enjoyed that.
We'll have more. We'll have plenty more. Texter says Airplane is much better.
Airplane's good.
Yeah, Airplane's
very, very good.
Airplane's not better than Dumb.
I didn't have like the now. See, when I first saw Airplane, though, I probably didn't get all the jokes. Appreciated much more in my latter years, especially with the conversations in the cockpit about. Have you ever seen a grown man naked?
Yeah.
Do you like movies of gladiators?
It's a lot. It's a lot funnier now, for sure.
But that was Dumb and Dumber was the first movie I remember in the theater that I was like laughing uncontrollably, like to the point that like my stomach hurt.
That's what Steve says. He says, I almost whizzed myself in the theater when Lloyd and Harry got off the scooter in the mountains.
Oh yeah, and the snot.
Just go, man.
Just go.
Oh, he's like stuck to
warm.
That's really
warm.
They got like
you bring an extra pair of gloves?
Oh,
yeah, we're in the Rockies.
Got a little Harry coming out of the past there.
You left it at the airport, you big goof.
Get 50 miles to the gallon on this hog. Please use the breaking news drop and then proclaim, we landed on the moon.
Yeah, there you go.
Joel says.
No way.
That's great.
So that line apparently
was a
was
raging alcoholic.
That line apparently was completely improvised.
Oh, it had to be.
He's just walking. He's supposed to walk out of the room and he sees the newspaper article on the wall and it says, No way.
which is like perfectly Jim Carrey. Like that is the most Jim Carrey thing, which is just fantastic. And those two like together, like if you've now seen all the movies that they've been in, would you ever think Jeff Daniels and Jim Carrey would be able to pair off like in a comedy that way?
No.
So
Well, definitely
like,
not
masterfully.
Definitely not Jeff Daniels.
Yeah, exactly.
Jeff Daniels, that's the only ridiculous thing he's done in his life.
Yeah. And then everything with
He was
like
so perfect.
like with the haircut, the pumpkin pie haircut looking freak. Get the hell out of here.
Jesse says, "How about Step Brothers?"
Yeah, that is actually.
I bet
really
Nebraska
good.
is probably pretty obsessed with Step
Yeah,
Brothers.
I bet you that's like in the top 5 of Nebraska movie obsessions.
Okay, now we're just naming.
See,
comedies,
I bet we're lower. Like gauging the response, I bet we're not as obsessed with Dumb and Dumber as I think everyone here.
You
in the room
don't
would
think
be.
Nebraska is obsessed with Dumb and Dumber?
I think the obsession rate is not nearly as high as dodgeball. Just gauging the response from our conversation we're having right now.
I bet I know the most obsessed state with Dumb and Dumber. Well, it's
Providence,
Rhode Island.
It's either Rhode Island
or Colorado
or California.
Yeah,
beautiful.
Corey
Corey
flocked to this, like the salmon of Capistrano. Talk about a little place called Aspen.
Corey says Monty Python, The Holy Grail, Grandma's Boy, and Blazing Saddle. I don't think there's going to be a Grandma's Boy survey out there.
There should be, because that was also very, very good.
Yeah.
The robot guy alone was
Now that
great.
probably
And he
would
was in
go,
dodgeball.
That would go into the category of cult following.
I agree. Yeah.
I mean, not really by any metric a popular movie, Grandma's Boy.
Nope.
But certainly by everybody who's seen it, they're like, oh yeah, I remember Grandma's
Yeah.
Boy.
If you saw it, yeah, and you gave it a chance in its entirety, you liked it. It was good.
Yep, that's what happened with Grandma's Boy.
I have found a travel website that has the.
Is there like a Dumb and Dumber tour?
It is the route from Providence to Aspen.
Oh yes.
Well, remember they
I feel like we should
turned the
do this in
wrong
the summer.
way in western Nebraska somewhere.
Yep, they do.
It says you can go the movie route, which is 2,100 miles and takes 32 hours, or you can go the shorter route, which is 740 miles and takes 11 hours.
Yeah, because there was not much interstate time for them.
Nope.
It recommends taking a day and bumming around Omaha for a day.
That's probably a good
That
call.
was not Omaha. That was like Sydney.
But you're going through it.
It says
Yeah, that's
you're
true.
going through it, and there's stuff to do.
Oh,
Why not
okay.
spend a day in Omaha?
Okay. I thought they were trying to like recreate the scene
Wow.
of like being off to the side of the road there.
So that's a part of the official Dumb and Dumber nationwide tour. Hey, why don't you just stop off in Omaha?
Shout out Omaha.
Well,
All right.
that makes sense. We're probably all obsessed with Dumb and Dumber
Yep,
here.
that does make sense now. Yeah. Maybe I failed to see that part of it. Because if we're 100% obsessed with dodgeball, I would think we'd be 100% obsessed with Dumb and Dumber, but just based on some of the responses where people are throwing different movies at us.
There's some historical inaccuracies in there because when they stop and Lloyd has the line "big gulps,"
Yeah.
I mean, they're supposedly in Nebraska during that because right after that they turn the wrong direction back. There's no 7-Elevens in Nebraska.
Sure.
There's no big gulps. We don't have any big gulps.
No, there were 7. We've had some 7-Elevens.
We've had 7-Elevens.
Yeah, there was one actually right by Millard North.
Maybe they were at that one.
They went by Millard North.
Big gulps, eh?
What the hell?
Well,
But
see
yeah,
you later.
There was a 7-Eleven. I don't know what it is now. It might be a QT or whatever. So if you go to basically between 100 and be on Pacific, between 144th and 156. Like if you're heading up to Mama's,
Yeah.
there's a gas station right down there in a neighborhood.
Come and go.
Yeah, okay. It used to be a 7-Eleven.
Really?
Yep, long time ago.
Huh.
Hasn't been a
that.
7-Eleven for a very, very, very long time. But yeah, because I always thought the same thing. I'm like, gosh, we don't have a lot of 7-Elevens. But when we found one, always thought it was cool because of the big gulps.
Yippee says there used to be a 7-Eleven at 63rd and Blondo. Steven says all the 7-Elevens turned into come and goes. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Okay,
never mind. I apologize.
No, but
I did not mean to point out historical inaccuracies in Dumb and Dumber. How dare I?
But in your defense, Connor, I do not remember many of them. I remember the one by Millard North growing up, but
Did you get a buttered roll?
No, but I did get a big gulp. You had to get a big gulp.
Gotta get a big gulp.
Yeah, it was just kind of cool. It was sort of a flex.
Do kids still go to gas stations and like hang out now?
No, they go to parking lots at like Home Depot.
A lot of them,
as long as there's a Sonic nearby.
The kids can't go to gas
Isn't
stations
that still
anymore?
the thing? Like you only like 2 at a time?
Yeah,
or
the
whatever?
ones by the schools are like, hey, we can only have like 2 of you in here at a time.
Wow.
I can't watch all of you.
Yeah.
Wow.
2 of you. Yeah, that's why the parking lot's in Home Depot.
Utes.
As long as there is a Sonic or Taco Bell nearby.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, they're in the parking lot.
Yep. That's the one over by like our neck of the woods. There.
Flaky Jake says, no, Dumb and Dumber is loved in Nebraska. Trust me, I have a group of 8 friends, and every single person's favorite movie ever is Dumb and Dumber.
I'd like to know how old Jake is, because I feel like everybody of my age, he loves it. Absolutely loves it.
Based on our previous interactions, I think he's probably about the same age as I.
Okay. I feel like there's probably, because you guys are like, so you're the youngest in this room right now, then Josh, then me. I feel like between your generation and mine,
I'm probably a little young for Dumb and Dumber.
Are you?
Know?
Okay.
It came out in 94.
So,
and that was when I was 2. But
yeah, and see, I was like that would have been like my freshman year of high school.
Wow.
So I'm at I was like at the height of stupidity. Like everything was, if you want to throw like that type of genre, that type of comedy at me,
on 7-Elevens in Nebraska, Brian says used to go there all the time as a kid and play pinball.
Whoa.
My sister worked there, so she'd hook me up with slushies.
Oh yeah, don't forget about the slushies.
That's the end. That's a nice job. Cody says Columbus had at least 2 7-Elevens when I was growing up.
Oh, did they?
Would have been there in 94.
They weren't there when I was banging around Columbus.
See, that's what I really like. Speaking of the Dumb and Dumber map, like I want to point out, like, where was what was the place they stopped at with the ketchup? Dante's Inferno.
Oh yeah, Dante's Inferno. Yeah. Watch it up. We'll tell you.
Here, do this. This helps.
Briefcase isn't even ours. How's your burger?
Pills are good.
Out with the bad, in with the good.
That was probably somewhere in Nebraska. I mean, there's a good portion of this movie that takes place in Nebraska. Maybe that's my obsession with it.
That's true.
It's a true Nebraskan movie.
I do want to have the atomic burger from Dante's Inferno. Where's the diner where they meet up with Seabass though? The first interaction with Seabass.
That's on the road somewhere.
Flo. Yeah, that's got to be more East Coast, right?
Is there a map with all the
I'd like to know
the
where,
dots?
I want to know where they have their first run in with Seabass. They catch up with him about a half mile down the road and slit his throat. It was a good one.
It was a good one. Dumb and Dumber road trip. Oh,
I'm going to say that was
Mud Cuts. What dealership do you think they went to get the hog?
That's there's got to be a Case IH dealer somewhere. Maybe a Kubota.
Get 50 miles to the gallon on this hog. Recreating the Dumb and Dumber road trip, Revzilla.
A lot of
got to know where we can go to the diner with Flo.
A lot of locations in Utah.
That's where they filmed it.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, look.
Is Dante's Inferno really exist?
I hope it does.
It needs to.
Maybe
and
it's in like Bankelman.
It didn't at the time. It needs to now.
Man, I wonder. Okay, so somebody went and got a picture on the road, like with the hog dressed up as Harry and Lloyd.
That's awesome.
So I'm trying to figure out where. So I imagine. Okay, let's see. 3 minutes it takes Lloyd and Harry to ride their hog from the plains of Nebraska to Aspen on a pull start mini bike. It's dumb, sure, but that's the point. Okay,
That's
but
great.
where is this?
Dante's Inferno
does exist.
It was a American Legion Hall in Ogden, Utah.
Okay,
that they
made it into a
redecorated the front.
So was Aspen or was that somewhere in Utah?
I don't know.
I guess it could pass as somewhere.
From the sounds of it, it's probably somewhere in Utah.
Yeah.
It's disappointing. Look at these guys. They did the whole ride. This is amazing. I'm going to tweet out this link.
They look like they have the exact same outfits.
They have the outfits on. Yeah.
That is awesome.
They got all the roads, even the home stretch here. And there they go. They're frozen together when they get to.
Hopefully he's sitting on the side of the road at one point with his like crack showing.
John emails in. He says, guys naming dudes is better than guys naming movies. Yeah, it's probably true.
Yeah, I know. But we're not even naming movies right now. Now we're just naming scenes from the movie.
John also says there was a 7-Eleven out in Wayne back in the day.
Yeah.
Okay. So we had 7-Elevens here.
We did. Not as much as you're going to see in the major cities, but yeah.
Tony tweets in. He says, "My buddy still jokes when he's in the bathroom, saying I can't stop once I already started. It stings."
Yep, I've done that before. Yep. I find myself saying cripes a lot too.
And he,
so I do it the right way. Go
his
cripes!
watch, and it says 2:15. But the screenshot of the watch, it's like obviously a fake watch.
Yeah.
One of the words was the word was spelled wrong.
I didn't even notice that.
It's a little piece of the movie.
That's a good find.
It's
right there.
this guy bought a rip-off watch in Providence. He probably paid a pretty penny for it as well.
It's a good find.
Okay, all right, that's good. Whew. More of that today.
I can't wait.
More of that today on the show. Should be fun.
You guys got me hooked now.
Enjoy your afternoon. Nick.
Yeah, you guys as well.
Yeah, it says casino instead of Casio.
Casio.
Oh,
it says casino.
Wow. That's awesome.
That's Crossover, powered by Everlevel Concrete Repair in Omaha at everlevelconcrete.com. We'll start things off next.
That's the Crossover. The Connor Happer Show is next on 1620 The Zone. Mornings with Sharp and Handley.
But if you like trophies, that's great. I like sexy victories. I would rather have sex than have a trophy. Okay? That's just who I am. All right?
I think we could all agree on
the
that.
wide receiver from Wake Forest. People say that I like big-bodied women. That might be the case. I don't discriminate. Okay? I like big-bodied wide receivers. That's why I like the guy from Wake Forest. Okay, back to Iowa.
Mornings with Sharp and Handley. Weekdays 6 to 10 on 1620 The Zone. Your Omaha area forecast from the Godfather's Pizza Weather Center and KETV News Watch 7 on 1620 The Zone.
Get ready for a warm and windy Wednesday. Expect cloud cover throughout the day. South winds pick up in the morning, gusting 30 to 35 miles per hour through most of the day. Highs in the upper 50s. I'm meteorologist Sean Everson from KETV News Watch 7.
42 Degrees is showing you the love with sweet deals on Creighton and Delta products. Buy one, get one half off. 25% off CBD melatonin products. 30% off premium pre-rolls from Top Shelf, Budsburn, and Tyson. Cube disposables, 4 for $20. And 42 Degrees gummies are way better than a box of chocolates. They're 20% off now through Valentine's Day at 42 Degrees. Your destination for top-tier cannabis, second to none product selection, and exceptional service. By your mom's house.
What goes great with football? Rib Shack Down Home Barbecue and Soul Food. Let Miss Jackie cater your next event with slow-cooked St. Louis ribs, wings, beef brisket, and pulled pork. Visit the Rib Shack in Roxbury Plaza at 108th and Q or at ribshacksmokehouse.com.
Down the 7.
The Eagles present The Long Goodbye, the final tour, live in Omaha. With special guest Steely Dan. The Eagles. This Saturday at CHI Health Center. Get tickets now at Ticketmaster.com. The Eagles, The Long Goodbye, the final tour.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
If you're having problems in the bedroom, talking about it is the last thing you want to do. Same goes for hair loss, anxiety, or even depression. That's where HIMS comes in. Through HIMS, you don't have to talk about it. You can do something about it. Just go to hims.com/start, where you can find a variety of potential solutions for the problems men face every day, and save up to 95% on generic alternatives. The entire process is 100% online, making it incredibly simple, straightforward, and above all, private. If prescribed, treatments made using clinically proven ingredients are shipped directly to your door in low-key packaging. So if you're experiencing ED, hair loss, anxiety, or problems with your general health, you don't have to go to the doctor or the pharmacy or spend all day talking about it. Just go to hims.com/start and do something about it. Get started today at hims.com/start. That's HIMS.com/START.
Make an impact on our community. Join Food Bank for the Heartland for their largest fundraiser of the year, the 23rd Annual Celebrity Chef Event on Thursday, February 15th at the CHI Health Center. Learn cooking tips from Bravo's top chef, Gail Simmons, while helping the Food Bank raise 2.2 million meals for Heartland neighbors in need. Tickets must be purchased by February 7th. Visit foodbankheartland.org today to be part of this special event.
Meet Cheryl. Hey. She's on vacation and lost in the moment. Unfortunately, so is her Chase debit card.
It's got to be somewhere.
Maybe she lost it at salsa night.
These skirts should have pockets.
Or maybe she lost it at Pilates.
3 and 2 and...
But she's not worried. With the Chase mobile app, she can lock her card till it turns up. Tools that help protect. One bank that puts you in control. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase, make more of what's yours.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
The week is here. It's Super Bowl week, and happy Super Bowl week to all those who celebrate from FanDuel, America's #1 sports book. John and Josh here to tell you that this is now the time. You got to get in because football season's almost over, and new customers who join FanDuel today can get $200 in bonus bets if your first bet of $5 or more wins. And when you check out the Super Bowl props, man, there are a lot of them. And you can get some great odds right now by visiting FanDuel.com/1620.
As John said, $200 in bonus bets if that first bet wins. Again, FanDuel.com/1620 today. Check out all the prop bets, anytime touchdowns, first down scores, whatever it is, so much more, all available right now at FanDuel.com/1620. 21 plus and present in Iowa. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued is non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-BETS-OFF.
It's the Connor Happer Show with Connor Happer and Josh Hodson. Let's get ready to rumble.
Licensing of the phrase "let's get ready to rumble" just over the last 7+ years internationally is grossed approximately close to $400 million in retail sales.
Really?
You guys look like, what do they look like, Jimmy?
Dorks. They look like a couple of dorks.
On 1620, The Zone.
Welcome in. Happy Wednesday. It's the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone and on 1620thezone.com. I'm Connor Happer. There's Josh Hodson.
Hello.
Happy game day to our local teams. Finally, basketball back in action and a big night for the net watchers. You're watching the net, you get a chance to affect your own net tonight. Not for other people's nets, your net.
Interesting
But I'm
concept.
not tweeting about the net today. I'm not talking about the net today. We're not talking about it. It's about winning basketball games and quoting Dumb and Dumber, which is where Creighton is at tonight as 5.5-point favorites. Nebraska, it's 2.5-point favorites. Sorry, I got that line mixed up with Nebraska. Nebraska 5.5-point underdogs tonight at Northwestern. This is like the fourth or fifth time this year that these two teams have played important games at like the same time, basically. Kind of makes me sad as my J-Sker heart gets sad because I like to watch them both. Preferably, I'd like to watch them both back to back. Just, there's my night right
that's
there.
The way we need to
you
do
go
it.
6, you go 8, or you go 5:30, 7:30. Don't know if we've had any of those this year. A couple weekends where it's like 11 and 1, and then some at the same time. So they'll both go tonight in big games for each of them. We'll talk about them throughout the show today. Cable has returned, but at what cost? We will ask. Events from the Super Bowl media availabilities last night. People think that Brock Purdy looks like Lee Harvey Oswald. And Brock Purdy has comment. Or he has no comment, but he's asked about it.
Hard-hitting journalism going on in Vegas this week.
Believe it or not, today is National Signing Day.
Finally.
Remember back in the day when it'd be National Signing Day and it was just this one, and all the recruits would come on and be like, hey, and we would take a break from reality from the day and be like, let's talk football and let's talk about the future. Let's dream a little bit. Maybe not so much anymore. I don't know if there's any shows having recruits on today, and we're not going to be one of them. I'm not gonna add to that. Most of the guys who are signed for this class have been here for like a month already. So, I guess half of them are somewhere in that realm. But today is National Signing Day, and Matt Rule will have his signing day press conference, mysteriously or not so mysteriously. So here's a couple of nuggets of information for you that you can take however way you want it. So Matt Rule was supposed to have his signing day press conference at 11 today. We were preparing for that. We were going to take it here on the show. But then last night, we get an email and it says that Matt Rule's press conference is now at 3:00 today. And then you hear that Keona Wilhite is announcing his decision, which involves Nebraska directly, at 2:30 this afternoon.
2:30. Interesting.
I wonder why. Matt Rule's press conference has moved back to 3. So it might be a good day for Nebraska. They've already got a couple more guys in the boat, adding to your 2024 group.
Got to row that boat.
Yeah, they're rowing. There's going to be a lot of people on this roster. Some walk-ons, preferred walk-ons. I'm basically at the point, Josh, where I'm going to stop updating my scholarship distribution, I think, because, well, either I'll stop or I'll just keep, and it'll just say, hey, Nebraska has 100 scholarship players at this point.
Quitter.
It's not for keeping track of the number specifically, but maybe like the number at each position. So Matt Rule will talk this afternoon, and yes, we will get that little break from basketball and whatever else is going on, and we'll talk a little future, talk a little football today with Rule at 3:00. Elsewhere, we'll jump around college basketball for a few things as well. Chris Holtmann is not going to make it at Ohio State.
Oh no!
You guys thought Ryan Day was going to get fired. It's the other Ohio State coach.
You were so concerned about Ryan Day, you didn't think to look at Chris Holtmann.
Chris Holtmann. They have lost 8 out of 9 and blew a 18-point lead last night at home to Indiana. No bueno. Not going to survive that probably. At the beginning of the year, they had a great non-con, right? I think they were like 10-2 or something like that coming out of the non-con, or maybe undefeated coming out of the non-con. And yeah, they've fallen off the face of the earth. Making way for teams like Nebraska to potentially grab a double bye in this year's Big Ten tournament.
Those are important.
And a win tonight at Northwestern would help you on the path to that. This is Nebraska's final, quote, biggest game of the season for now, right? Until probably the postseason hits. This is your last opportunity for a big win tonight on the road. The rest of it is sort of, Nebraska should take care of business. They're going to lose a couple of them. They're going to win more than they're going to lose. And we will go from there. So it's a big game tonight for Nebraska basketball. Also, Chip Kelly is throwing himself at any NFL job he could find right now. He's like, please take me away from UCLA. I have a take about UCLA, who joins the Big Ten next year, as we go on throughout the show today. We'll talk to Robin Washut here in about 15 minutes. Mitch Sherman of The Athletic at 11:30. And the tweet bag. It is Wednesday after all, Josh.
People forget.
The Wednesday tweet bag is coming up at noon. Get your tweets in at Happer Show on the JTech Construction Zone Twitter feed. You can email Connor or Josh Show at 1620thezone.com on the Equitable Bank inbox. By the way, when you do tweet them, use the hashtag tweetbag so it's easier for me to find right here on my handy-dandy laptop. You can also email. I said that. You can text 402-951-1620. On the 42 Degrees The Source hotline. Call it as well. We say good morning to our YouTube watchers this morning. Yippee says, Happer, you don't understand Q1 versus Q2. Happer, you hate Nebraska. So people have really figured this out. This is how you trigger Connor Happer.
They're on to you.
Not today. Not today. I'm not getting mad about basketball today. Would you like to hold me to that, Josh?
Sure. I mean, might be more fun for the show if you were triggered about something.
All right, so you guys keep trying. Keep trying. I'm not going to yell about the net today. People keep telling me I don't know anything about basketball.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know anything about metrics. I don't know anything about anything.
Q1 greater than Q2.
It's definitely the good path to begin to trigger me. So yeah, you keep that up. Keep trying. All right. We got a couple of things here coming back before we get to Robin Washut. We'll start with the big story of the day yesterday. Cable in streaming form. Cable on the internet is back. But at what cost? And is there a bigger picture topic that is built into that with Fox and ESPN working together for a sports streaming platform? We'll talk about that for a brief few minutes before we get to Robin next on the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
The Connor Happer Show.
Who's pitching tonight?
You Darvish, having a great year.
The Connor Happer Show.
I know about that guy.
On 1620 The Zone.
What a mess.
Big names, big games. We've got them all. 1620 The Zone.
Host is roasting every morning.
Host is roasting every day.
Since 1972, family-owned and locally roasted Host Coffee Service has been roasting the finest coffee for businesses and restaurants. If you're ready to change to a better coffee provider, it's time for Host Coffee.
Omaha's best coffee since 1972. Host Coffee is always roasting something good for you.
Don't miss this week's Zone Deal.
This week's half-off deal is to Agave Azteca. Get 2 $25 gift vouchers, a $50 value for just $25. Agave Azteca is your shortcut to Mexico. Agave Azteca is known for its delicious Mexican cuisine and fantastic customer service. After one trip to Agave Azteca, you'll want to come back for more. Agave Azteca, where every bite is a unique experience.
Zone Deals go fast. 9 a.m. Friday, 1620thezone.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
This story is called The Ugly Truth About Timeshare. If you think you've done your family a favor by buying a timeshare, you need my help. Hello, I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. 10 years ago, I started helping folks cancel their timeshare. In the process, started what's now called the timeshare cancellation industry. The ugly truth is when you buy a timeshare, you can't tell me how much it's going to cost or when it's going to end. I recently helped a couple that had their maintenance fees go from $800 to $3,200 a year. They also received a $4,000 assessment for a hurricane that was over 1,000 miles away. Sound crazy? The crazy thing is this never ends. Call my office now. If we take you as a client, I guarantee we'll cancel your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Call for your free information kit. Call 800-462-3333. That's 800-462-3333. 800-462-3333.
Hi, everybody. Kent Pavelka here with why I chose Everlevel Concrete Repair for my driveway. They do it all. They fix cracks, lift sunken slabs, protect the finished product from deterioration, and all at a fraction of the price of replacement. It's not a Band-Aid like other repair methods. Everlevel's products are designed to last, which is why they've been voted Best of Omaha again this year. Better yet, it all comes with a transferable warranty. Protect your concrete before winter. Call Everlevel today for your free inspection. Everlevel, they make your driveway Everlevel. Level up.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank and Celtic Bank, members FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
Are you the decision maker in your company? Consider this. For the first time in decades, there's a better option for a corporate card and spend management platform. Meet Ramp, the only corporate card and spend management system designed to help you spend less money so you can make more. Most corporate credit cards offer points as incentives, but those points amount to less than their worth in real cash value. Ramp's corporate cards offer you cash back, real money in your pocket. Plus, you control who spends what with each vendor. And Ramp's software collects and verifies receipts automatically, which means you'll stop wasteful spending and close your books in hours instead of days. Businesses that use Ramp add up to 5% to their bottom line the first year. If you're a decision maker, adding Ramp could be one of the best decisions you've ever made. And now get $250 when you join Ramp. Just go to ramp.com/sports. Ramp.com/sports. ramp.com/sports.
It hit me like a ton of bricks. And I'm like, I never smoked a cigarette. How in the hell did I get lung cancer?
I don't smoke. I've never smoked. So I started Googling. One word just kept coming up, like it was in bold and red, and it was radon.
Radon is the number 2 cause of lung cancer.
Well, you don't know if it's in your home. You got to test. You can't see it. You can't taste it. You can't smell it.
What's your level? Radon Defense Midwest can help. Visit radonradio.com for a special offer. That's radonradio.com.
Hey fans, looking for the best seats without the hidden fees? Then you need to check out Tickets for Less. Whether it's Creighton games, Husker matchups, or big-time concerts and events, they've got you covered, all with no service fees. Now, you ready to score a deal? Use the code THEZONE at ticketsforless.com and save on your next event. You prefer to go mobile? Grab the free Tickets for Less app and shop with ease. Every seat holds a story, so find yours and save when you use the promo code THEZONE at ticketsforless.com and the Tickets for Less app today.
Yesterday, ESPN, Fox, and Warner Bros. Discovery announced plans to launch a sports streaming platform this fall that will include offerings from at least 15 networks on all 4 major professional sports leagues. A one-stop app to view sports.
Novel concept.
Will include offerings from the following: ESPN, ESPN Plus, ESPN2, ESPNU, SEC Network, ACC Network, ESPN News, ABC, Fox, FS1, FS2, Big Ten Network, TNT, TBS, and True TV. Subscribers would also have the ability to bundle the product with Disney Plus, Hulu, and or Max. This is an offering that you have. Now, once again, I do this quite often because it's one of my oldest takes that really has aged so well. I've been on this. I tracked it back just using like the first time I started tweeting about this. The first time I could track was 2018. I was talking about this 6 years ago. Eventually, we're going to have so many streaming options that these groups are going to get together and they're going to say, why don't we just bundle them together? And you know what that means, Josh? You know what that looks and sounds an awful lot like?
What's that, Connor?
Cable.
Oh,
cable.
Yeah.
Which we've had for a long time.
Now, what if you bundled it with like a bunch of other channels that you could watch programming?
Even more cable.
On demand.
Yeah.
Like a Hulu.
Yeah, it's amazing. So it's so we've gotten so convoluted that, and I guess first I should say this. They don't have a price for this yet. It's going to be expensive. Right? If all these networks are coming together to work together, it's going to be expensive.
It's not out of the goodness of their heart.
It's no. And so, I don't. So the problem is, I don't know what your household looks like. I don't know what you need. So we can only speak to our own like personal experiences and what you have. That's what I was thinking about this a lot, and I'm like, okay, for me, I have right now. I had cable, which gave me access to all those channels. I have YouTube TV, which gives me access to all those channels. But I also have my wife in the house who doesn't watch sports and doesn't care about sports at all. So it's not like I'm going to be dropping YouTube TV to get the sports only package because I need the other stuff. That's why I had cable for such a long time. I assume a lot of people are the same way. Josh, you don't watch only sports in your house.
That is correct.
Right? You watch movies and whatever. There's going to be I don't know. So I like, depending on the price, there's no reason for me to jump out of what I'm on right now and go over to the sports only streaming platform because I'm just losing things, right? Like I'm just losing channels in the meantime. It's great for the sports fan, sports only fan. But like I said, everybody has a sort of different situation. But what I started thinking about yesterday is my wife just tweeted into the show. Whatever you do, just don't take away my Bravo.
Oh, you gotta have the Bravo.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. Don't worry, sweetie. I'm not gonna take away your Bravo. I wouldn't dare. Because then I don't know. You'd have to watch sports or something. That'd be a big problem. This really doesn't seem that enticing for me as a user. What I'm interested in is these companies working together, and for me, that cannot be a good precedent. There's no way that can be a good thing.
Right.
There's no way that Fox, ESPN, and Turner working together could be ultimately a good thing for our television watching industry.
Hey, we're all making money hand over fist here. Let's give the customers a win.
Just like
no.
Just like there's no way that the Big Ten and the SEC working together is good news. Of course, unless you are in the Big Ten of the SEC, which I mean, from a sports watching perspective, like we are part of the Big Ten here in Nebraska. If you identify yourself as a Nebraska fan. But like you're not part of a television network, right? So for the future of television, for the future of like America, I don't really love the idea of one monopoly running the entire country in terms of all of the sports all of the time. You'd be missing out on CBS Sports Network, those 2 Creighton games a year, and I don't know, some Summit League action, I guess. But that's basically it. There's there's no there like that cannot be a good precedent to set. Like I said, much like ESPN, Fox, the Big Ten, the SEC working together to try and let's collaborate on some ideas and maybe we could do a bunch of things that are good for us, and regrets to doesn't regret, but doesn't talk about, fails to acknowledge the rest of the world, like the rest of the world around it and the ecosystem that we live in college sports and specifically college football. So that would be like the giant red flag for me. On top of the idea that like I'm not gonna get this unless it's vastly cheaper than YouTube TV, and it would make more sense to get all of the other stuff that I miss out on with cable/YouTube TV by getting those a la carte on top of the sports package. It doesn't make any sense to me. Now, is this an area to put your to put your live sports on all one app and make it a user convenient experience? I guess so. But what's so inconvenient about cable? Aside from the fact that it's connected to your wall, and it goes out sometimes, and the cable guy has to come over.
We loved cable
in this
for
case,
decades.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. Like, there's a lot obviously to come out of that. Zach emails in.
Hi, Zach.
Interesting that Fox and ESPN announced a streaming bundle partnership 3 days after the Big Ten and the SEC announced their alliance. Oh yeah, no, I thought of that right away. Oh, it's bigger than that. It's bigger than the SEC and the Big Ten. It's all of it combined, but I mean, there's obvious parallels to it. John emails in.
Hi, John.
Says, guess what I get with YouTube TV? Everything in that bundle that I could ever watch, plus CBS and NBC and tons of sports channels, and I can record anything and everything I want, and I could easily go back and forth between channels.
Yeah.
Like that's where I'm at. I don't see where this is an advantage for me.
Yeah.
And I don't see, like, for Americans, I mean, just for the Royal American, Josh, like for the general American, is how many people out there like just need sports? If you're a television watcher, how many people out there just need sports? And then Max, right? Or Netflix and Max, HBO Max, whatever you might call it on any given day, whatever they've rebranded to.
HBO Max is now Max.
It's now Max. It's now HBO Max again. No, we forgot to take the HBO out. It's Max. Thomas tweets into the show. He says, "Isn't this the definition of a monopoly?" Yeah. So I don't know. Like, it's sort of exciting news because you don't see, like, you don't know where it's going to go. You don't know what's going to exactly happen. I'd be curious to see the price. Obviously.
If it can create sort of a bidding war for my consumer dollars, then maybe we're onto something.
But I get.
But I'm going to go ahead and doubt that right out of the gate.
That's what I mean. I hope I haven't like influenced anyone on, like, I saw this and then I paired it along with my television watching habits, and like I already have all this stuff.
Now, I definitely love getting that email from the fine folks at YouTube TV twice a year that, for whatever reason, unbeknownst to me, the cost is going up $10.
Yeah, that's a shame.
Love getting that email twice a year.
That stinks. Yep. It's also the same thing with cable. So that's the case too. Maybe this will make it go down because they're getting gouged by the sports TV watchers. Amazing Daniel writes in.
Hello, Amazing.
He says, if it's cheaper, I definitely know people who would want the app instead. I feel like there's going to be some attachments and enticements that make it more than just the channels, though. Maybe. And once again, I think we're all kind of dependent on the price here. But I don't know. It's hard for me to guess on these things, I guess. But
you've raised my eyebrow. It's come back to me with a fully fleshed out plan.
It's Fox and ESPN basically working together, and Turner, NCAA tournament. They're working together, and like I said, that's not going to be cheap. I don't know what I'm thinking. Like the ballpark in my head right now is like $50 a month.
Okay.
I don't know where I don't know where I came from with that number. I don't know how I got it in my head, but that's sort of like what I'm going off of right now. This thing about YouTube TV is like what, 75 right now?
I think so.
Somewhere around that range. And you're getting more with that, obviously, than you can add on with.
You throw in a Disney
Max,
Hulu bundle
right?
option for, I don't know, $10-15 a month.
I just fail to see how this makes my life better. But that's just me. That's just me. And it sounds like it's you, and it sounds like it's a couple people listening too. So, I don't know. Mason Daniel says, I hope I haven't influenced anyone. That's a quote from me. I wouldn't worry about it.
This feels a lot like the Mayweather-Pacquiao fight.
In what way?
I'm glad you did this, but you did it 6 years too late.
I'm not even glad they did it, honestly. I'm not even glad they did it. Why do I want these companies working together? I don't. That's scary to me.
Screams of desperation.
I don't want them working together to have more power over us.
Has all the vibes of we've written some large checks that are not coming through in terms of eyeballs. How do we get eyeballs?
Zach emails in.
Hi, Zach.
This will be significantly cheaper than the entire YouTube TV type bundle. The demographic for this will be a lot of college-age sports fans that don't have kids that are looking to save money. Okay, so what do we think? Like 20? I don't know.
No, you could not do this for $20.
I don't know what we're looking at. Well, Asian Joe writes in.
Hi, Asian.
There you go. But will this new group of mega powers have DVR capability? I'll just stick with YouTube TV for now. Okay. All right. Once again, hope I haven't influenced anybody, but kind of sounds like I am, maybe. Maybe people have come to these conclusions.
Or you had the opinion everyone else had.
Yeah, I do that a lot.
You're not a unique snowflake, as Tyler Durden once said.
If anybody else has anything to say about this, enlighten me. Because all I see on the face of it right now is something that is not particularly appealing to me.
Or your wife.
Or definitely not my wife. Definitely not most people's wives. And not to stereotype too much, I guess. But, not interesting to me, and actually more scary to me and dumb to me than I don't know how it's being received right now. But I guess we'll see how it develops over the next couple months. Apparently, this is supposed to be ready in the fall. All right, we're late getting to Rob and Washut. We're going to talk Husker hoops when we return on the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone. Last year at the Super Bowl, Rob Gronkowski went wide left on the FanDuel kick of destiny. He is back for round 2. This time, we're inviting you to play along. All you have to do is choose if Gronk will make or miss. Get your free pick in right now, because if you are right, you'll win a share of $10 million in bonus bets. Everyone gets in on the action when Gronk takes a shot at redemption. He missed last year. Will he make this year? Whether your team make or team miss, just head to the FanDuel Sportsbook app and get your pick in. It is free in your chance at bonus bets. Then tune in before the game to see Gronk's kick live. You'll want a share of $10 million in bonus bets if you are right. If you're new to FanDuel, use the promo code FanDuel.com/Happer and sign up. Make every moment more with FanDuel, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. 21 and over, present in Iowa, no purchase necessary. $10 million prize pool to be split equally among all eligible participants who make the correct pick. Prize issued is non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at FanDuel.com/sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-BETS-OFF.
Live from the Host Coffee Studio, this is 1620 The Zone.
There is only one constant in the universe, and that's change.
Brent Rasmussen of Mortgage Specialists.
I'm sure many of you remember the incredibly low interest rates that were available only a few years ago. Well, things changed. Now rates are higher. But would you believe me if I told you there was a time when people were paying double-digit rates? And that's the thing. Everything changes. Rates go up, rates go down. So if you're waiting for the perfect time when rates drop before you buy a home, you might miss out on the home you really want. So when you think about it, what's a thing today might not be a thing tomorrow. See? Change is good. I'm Brent Rasmussen. Call me at Mortgage Specialists, and we can show you all the details. Mortgage Specialists. Driven, trusted, reliable.
Click mtg-specialists.com. And MLS number 5918, Equal Housing Lender.
You can find pizza anywhere. But when you want pizza pie piled high with more toppings, that's when you come to my place, Godfather's Pizza. For a limited time, get your hands on 2 of my large one-topping pizzas. Pick pepperoni, beef, black olives, you choose. All this food for only $30. Feed your whole mob without breaking the bank. Hey, it's an offer you can't refuse. Godfather's Pizza. Do it.
If you're looking for the perfect plan for Valentine's Day, Agave Azteca has the Valentine special just for you. Enjoy an unforgettable moment with your love in a charming atmosphere with live music, 2 dishes of your choice, 2 drinks, and a dessert, all for only $49.95. But that's not all. They have a daily lunch menu from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. for just $7 Monday through Friday, and the dinner menu from 6 to 9 p.m. for just $10 Monday through Thursday. 5170 South 72nd Street in Ralston. Agave Azteca, the shortcut to Mexico.
There's a lot more to love for a lot less at Salt's Jewelry and Loan. Now through Valentine's Day, get 50% off a huge selection of jewelry. Heart-shaped jewelry, gemstones, everything you need to show your love. Some exclusions apply. See store for details. It's the Celebration of Love sale with 50% off jewelry at Salt's Jewelry and Loan.
For the ones who get it done, the most important part is the one you need now. And the best partner is the one who can deliver. That's why millions of maintenance and repair pros trust Grainger, because we have professional-grade supplies for every industry, even hard-to-find products. And we have same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders. But most importantly, we have an unwavering commitment to help keep you up and running. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Creighton Athletics would like to thank Methodist Hospital and CHI Health for their continued support of the annual Creighton versus Cancer Pink Out Games. All funds raised support the American Cancer Society's Hope Lodge, Nebraska. Through continued efforts and financial contributions, we look to increase cancer awareness through this great event. Methodist Hospital and CHI Health, proud sponsors of the 13th annual Creighton versus Cancer Pink Out Games.
The Zone Hotline is powered by 42 Degrees, The Source, by your mom's house.
Tickets for less. Best seats, best prices, no service fees. Shop ticketsforless.com. KOZN Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs. This is 1620 The Zone.
The biggest basketball coaching convention of.
You work on your stroke. Are you looking?
What?
You don't remember? Yeah, I'm talking.
What is going on? Robin, are you okay?
Robin Washut.
Are your kids near you, or what just happened?
Husker Online.
I took a lot of preparation to make this thing a flawless interview, and clearly I still can't avoid it.
Robin Washut, Husker Online.
Maybe it was aliens. Maybe it was a phenomenon that we can't explain.
The Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
All right, and we're joined now on the 42 Degrees of Source hotline by HuskerOnline.com's Robin Washut. Hi, Robin.
What's up?
Happy National Signing Day. Doesn't it feel like National Signing Day?
The buzz is undeniable right now. I've never been more dialed in.
Just think, in years past on this day, you'd be trying to track down the latest, the kid who signed. You guys would have all your stuff put together, I suppose, already. There'd be very few decisions on signing day. And then, the press conference is this afternoon. I sort of miss the old National Signing Day. We'd all come together and dream about the future for one day.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I forgot there was even a February signing day. So yesterday. So
yep, me too.
Shows you how involved I am with that. But it's, I think, a result of just the way the recruiting calendar is flipped and the fact that 99% of your class is usually settled and already on campus by the time this final signing day arrives. But there's still opportunity for some late additions, so I guess there's some level of interest. But you're right, it's nothing like it used to be. Back in the glory years, so to speak, when I first started, this was the biggest recruiting day of the year, and I have some pretty crazy memories of it. So I know there are a lot of people that feel that way, that kind of miss the big event that was that February signing day, but I guess now just with the way that the landscape has changed, it has kind of made this day somewhat obsolete.
Let's go back to the other night for Nebraska basketball with the loss in overtime at Illinois, and we don't have to pick apart how and why. There was some questionable officiating at the end of that game, and it certainly factored into the equation for Nebraska basketball. But ultimately, they fall short on the road. I think for me though, that was, and we might have talked about this last week, leading into the Wisconsin game. But can you prove that taking the show on the road and playing well and having all the energy and whatever you need to compete in a game on the road is possible and can happen for Nebraska basketball? I feel like that did a lot for just where I'm at mentally with the team, and coming off of the Wisconsin win, where that had been traditionally kind of a letdown spot for them. That felt, even though they lost, it still felt like a really big result for me. Did it feel that way to you?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to step into moral victories, that's about.
I do. I'm going moral victories. Yes.
Yeah. So I mean, and there's a lot of people that feel that same way, and I certainly get it. Like, they kind of answered a lot of questions about themselves, not just from the outside, but I'm sure internally. Like, I think they proved to themselves that they're capable of playing again at that level in one of the most difficult road venues against one of the best teams in the conference. That, I think, maybe if they were starting to have doubt creep into their, conscious about, how they're unbeatable seemingly at home and can't beat anybody on the road, they came a possession away from getting it done and basically sealing their NCAA tournament resume. So it's still a significant missed opportunity just because of that fact, that if you win that game, basically you're sailing on cruise control all the way to Selection Sunday. But now you still have some work to do. But if nothing else, even though you didn't get the final results you wanted, the way that they had played for 45 minutes in that game, was about as well as they played on the road all season long. So they've now shown tangible evidence that they're capable of playing with that type of effort for a full 40 and beyond. And now with the way that after tonight, the schedule somewhat lightens up for them. I think that they're in a good spot still, especially considering the way that they responded after the win. Like you said, like that shows that despite 2 straight overtime efforts in a short amount of time, 3 or 2 road games over your last 3, like kind of a grueling stretch of the schedule, that you can still play to that level. And now, if you can find a way to get it done tonight, then all of a sudden you're back in the driver's seat to control your own destiny to the tournament. So, it's a missed opportunity, but if you're going to have a missed opportunity, that's about as good as it gets.
Yeah. Well, and we're going to be talking a lot about metrics and the net and the NCAA tournament resume going forward. And the fact of the matter is, losing in overtime on the road to a team like that, it doesn't hurt you at all in the metrics. In fact, it helps you. Like, it makes you look pretty dang good. So there's that piece of it too. Like, I felt like it wasn't only important from how you feel about the group and how confident you are in them, but also on paper, they come out of it looking better.
Mm-hmm. So, they still have that one hole in their resume, and that's a conference road win, but they're going to have opportunities to do that. You still go to Ohio State, which is a total mess right now. Michigan's a mess. And tonight is probably the best remaining opportunity you have to really have one of those, signature type of road wins. So, there's still plenty of opportunity left on the schedule. And then, assuming that they take care of business at home, which the metrics suggest that they'll be fairly heavily favored in every remaining home game from here on out, they're in a good spot again. And I think the fact that this week, there's that 4-game stretch starting with Maryland, Wisconsin, Illinois, now Northwestern. Yep. They came again a possession away from at least going 2-2, and so I think if you thought going into that, if they could win at least one of them, then they would at least still be in a good position. Well, they only have one win, but I think the way that Illinois game went, you're still, even if they lose tonight, coming out of it feeling pretty good about where Nebraska is going into this much more favorable backstretch.
So a thing that is buried in, and you're right, this is the end of this, 4-game stretch that we all pointed out a couple weeks ago. That was a significant one for him, not only in terms of the metrics, but here's the thing that's sort of buried into tonight, which I feel like we should be talking about more, especially given Nebraska's lighter slate coming up in the month of February. Nothing's given, but it's lighter. Nebraska has a chance to get a giant leg up tonight if they sweep Northwestern for a double bye in the Big Ten tournament and finish top 4 in the conference. And as we've seen before, it doesn't on its face get you into the NCAA tournament, but it does, it makes you only 2 games away from a Big Ten championship potentially. I don't know. We haven't thought or talked a lot about the Big Ten race and where Nebraska sits in it because we're also focused on the tournament. But this is such a huge game tonight in terms of how the Big Ten looks down the stretch here.
Mm-hmm. And the double bye is important for a lot of reasons, obviously. It eliminates one more back-to-back game that you would potentially have to play if you win, but also it gives you one more opportunity at a really good win. If you're playing someone in the quarterfinals of the tournament, that's more than likely going to be a really good team. That could be another, significant boost to your resume. So if they go into Minneapolis and are still kind of on that fence, having that double bye, that pretty much guarantees you a really good opportunity to kind of put the finishing touches on your claim to an at-large bid. So there's a lot of reasons. I mean, just the rest, being able to play a team coming off playing the night before, even the past 2 nights going into it. There's a lot of advantages there. Nebraska's had that advantage before and completely squandered it. I think the last 2 times they've been a top 4 seed, they lost in convincing fashion.
Ohio State and Michigan.
So, yeah, it has not gone for them, but the theory remains that you're in a much better spot getting that double bye than you are having to, play 4 games in 4 nights or 3 games in 3 nights, whatever it may be. So, and the other reality too is Northwestern's right there with Nebraska as far as that tournament conversation. So this is your direct competition for a potential at-large bid, and so they're right there with you. And being able to have a season sweep against a team like that, not only does it look good on paper, but when it comes to comparing resumes head to head, Northwestern's probably going to be a team that's going to be in that conversation that you're pitting your success of the season against what they did.
So you're going on the road against a team that you beat at home. That situation is always at least a little bit scary to me. There's probably, I don't know, given that the game's at home for Northwestern, there's probably a higher level of desperation because, like you said, they have all of the things that Nebraska has on the line tonight as well. It would be a huge win for them. How is Nebraska able to do it tonight if they are able to do it?
Well, they have to replicate somehow what they did against Boo Buie. That's where it starts. Anytime you play Northwestern, he's arguably one of the best point guards in all of college basketball. He's an All-American, and so you cannot let him completely take over the game because he will in a number of ways if you're not ready to play against them. And so that's what made Nebraska so successful the last time they played is, they held him to one of his worst shooting performances of the season.
1 of 9. 2 of 15.
Right?
Yeah. 1 of 9 from 2. Yeah.
Yeah. And he still had, 7 assists, but when you're getting a guy that's averaging upwards of 20 a game shooting like that, that means they're missing a lot of shots and you're getting a lot of stops. So that's always a huge part of it. The rebounding is always going to be key for Nebraska. They did a really good job. I think they were plus 14 or 16 against them last time and just kind of dominated the glass. The issue for them, and it nearly cost them the game, was they turned the ball over a ton. They had 18 turnovers in that game. That led to, I think, a 15-point difference in points off turnovers. And that's one of the things that Fred Hoiberg is his new mantra now is the 2 keys of victory, where if you win the boards and you win the turnover margin, you're going to win and probably win convincingly. If you split it, you're going to have a close game. If you lose both of them, you're going to get blown out. And so this is a situation where rebounding is going to be key. You have to replicate what you did before, but more importantly, you have to do a much better job taking care of the basketball than you did. Of the 18 turnovers, 13 were steals by Northwestern. So
live ball turnovers.
They kind of bullied Nebraska. So it wasn't just a bunch of just mental mistakes where Nebraska was sloppy. Like Northwestern was kind of bullying them a little bit on the ball and jumping passing lanes and being the aggressors there. So you can expect them to dial that up even more playing at home. They're a lot like Nebraska, and they're a completely different team at home. They're really tough to beat there. Boo Booey's numbers, they're really good overall, but you look at what he's doing at home, it's like 20 points a game, shooting like 44% from the field. So, I mean, like he's kind of doing it all inside Welsh Ryan Arena. So that's pretty. It's like on paper, it's easy to list them, but a lot easier said than done, especially with how good Northwestern's been in their home gym.
Nebraska will aim to do what only Chicago State has done this year. That's win inside Welsh Ryan Arena.
That's crazy. You talk about bad losses. Like that's like,
I
think the worst of all bad losses. Like Chicago State was almost like on the brink of being disbanded as a program, and they went into Evanston and won that game. I still is just beyond me, especially like they spent this whole segment talking about how good Northwestern is at home. Like Chicago State went in there and won that game. It still baffles me.
Yep. So it's a big one tonight for both of those sides. Robin, appreciate the time as always, man. Enjoy the rest of the signing day festivities. I'm sure there'll be a party later.
I will. Talk to you later.
It's Robin Washut of HuskerOnline.com. Yeah, I think there's some desperation probably from them tonight, from Northwestern. It's kind of the same as what Providence will have tonight against Creighton as well, to sort of connect the two together. But it's a big deal for all four of those teams to win those games. Providence and Northwestern on their home court, Nebraska and Creighton, to kind of steal one on the road. And then there's this sort of element for Nebraska where, you play Saturday back at home against Michigan, and then you have a week off after that, and you're at home again, and your schedule is just, it's the rest of your schedule after tonight is Michigan, Penn State, Indiana, Minnesota, Ohio State, Rutgers, and Michigan. And I don't know if you guys have been paying attention to Big Ten basketball this year. None of those teams are good, except for possibly Minnesota,
which is
kind of
we thought.
Kind of insane to say. You guys want to talk about the net ranking? Losing to Minnesota on the road was not the worst thing in the world, even though in the moment Josh canceled them.
I did not cancel them. Famously
didn't cancel them, but you tried to.
I considered it. It's when they popped up on my radar.
You were saved by a hero.
We need a hero.
We'll talk a little bit more about Nebraska basketball later on in the show. They're 5.5-point dogs heading to Welsh Ryan Arena tonight, where nobody wins except for Chicago State.
Well, that was the battle for Chicago.
Yeah, you got to watch out for them always. Mm-hmm. We'll come back with Mitch Sherman of The Athletic. We'll talk a little bit about what we might hear this afternoon from Mitch. And you know what? Mitch wrote a little bit about Nebraska ball as well.
Oh,
everybody's getting in on Nebraska ball fever.
Delivers them clicks.
He's next on 1620 The Zone.
Previously on Unsportsmanlike Conduct.
An attorney over in Iowa named Van Plum is now requesting the state of Iowa. Okay, I shouldn't. See, here's a serious story, and you guys are hung up on Van Plum.
That's a character in the board game Clue. Van Plum did it in the office with a club stick.
What's a club stick?
I don't know. I couldn't think of anything.
Unsportsmanlike Conduct with John Bishop and Josh Peterson. Weekdays 2 to 6 on 1620 The Zone. Your Omaha area forecast from the Godfather's Pizza Weather Center and KETV News Watch 7 on 1620 The Zone.
Get ready for a warm and windy Wednesday. Expect cloud cover throughout the day. South winds pick up in the morning, gusting 30 to 35 miles per hour through most of the day. Highs in the upper 50s. I'm meteorologist Sean Everson from KETV News Watch 7.
More with Connor and Josh after this.
We're going to have an extensive professional relationship, my man.
On 1620, The Zone.
Equitable Bank. We take banking personally. EquitableOnline.com.
Host is roasting every morning.
Host is roasting every day.
Put your coffee department in good hands with Host Coffee Service, providing direct delivery and loaned coffee equipment with service programs. If you're ready to change to a better coffee provider, it's time for Host Coffee.
Omaha's best coffee since 1972. Host Coffee is always roasting something good for you.
There is only one constant in the universe, and that's change.
Brent Rasmussen of Mortgage Specialists.
I'm sure many of you remember the incredibly low interest rates that were available only a few years ago. Well, things changed. Now rates are higher. But would you believe me if I told you there was a time when people were paying double-digit rates? And that's the thing. Everything changes. Rates go up, rates go down. So if you're waiting for the perfect time when rates drop before you buy a home, you might miss out on the home you really want. So when you think about it, what's a thing today might not be a thing tomorrow. See? Change is good. I'm Brent Rasmussen. Call me at Mortgage Specialists, and we can show you all the details. Mortgage Specialists. Driven, trusted, reliable.
Click mtg-specialists.com. NMLS number 5918, Equal Housing Lender.
What goes great with football? Rib Shack Down Home Barbecue and Soul Food. Let Miss Jackie cater your next event with slow-cooked St. Louis ribs, wings, beef brisket, and pulled pork. Visit the Rib Shack in Roxbury Plaza at 108th and Q or at ribshacksmokehouse.com.
Pizza's here. Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
The NFL action keeps getting better, and DraftKings, the leader in fantasy sports, just dropped a brand new app, Pick Six. Pick Six is the newest way for you to get in on the fantasy football action with DraftKings. New customers can make their first NFL picks and get up to $100 back in Pick Six credits if those picks lose. Getting started is simple. Download the DraftKings Pick Six app and sign up using code 1620. Just pick between 2 and 6 NFL players and choose if they're going to have more or less of a stat. For example, will a player have more or less than 100 rushing yards, or will a player have more than 1 touchdown? Track your lineup and compete against others for a shot at huge cash prizes. Download the DraftKings Pick Six app now and sign up with code 1620. New customers can get up to $100 back in Pick Six credits if your first football pick set loses. That's code 1620. Only on DraftKings Pick Six. The crown is yours. One offer per new customer. First qualifying pick set winnings less entry fees must generate negative number. Max reward up to $100 equal to amount of negative number. Issued in non-withdrawable Pick Six credits valid for Pick Six use only. Expire after 1 year. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 18 and over in most eligible states, but age varies by jurisdiction. Eligibility restrictions apply. Valid only in states where DraftKings Pick Six operates. For up-to-date list of states, please visit dkng.co/pick6states. Void where prohibited. See terms at pick6.draftkings.com.
Are you paying too much for term life insurance? A man age 50 non-tobacco user can obtain $500,000 of coverage for as little as $110 per month. Level rate for 20 years. That's right, guaranteed level rate for 20 years. If you're a smoker, there are great rates available for you as well. Call Term Busters for a quote. 1-800-908-7636. You're probably paying more than you should. Call 1-800-908-7636. Remember, call Term Busters. 1-800-908-7636. Sample rate for preferred non-tobacco rate class. Exam required to qualify.
Join me, Jimmy Allen, for the Creighton Athletics Hour. We'll be talking all things Blue Jays and interviewing your favorite coaches, so you don't want to miss it. It's the Creighton Athletics Hour, Thursdays, starting at 6 o'clock, only on 1620 The Zone, 1620thezone.com, and your 1620 The Zone mobile app.
Maverick baseball and softball are right around the corner. Get your season tickets today by calling 402-554-MAVS. This week, Omaha Maverick women's basketball takes on North Dakota and North Dakota State at Baxter Arena, while Omaha Maverick men's basketball is a game out of first place and making a run for the conference title. They take on South Dakota February 15th and South Dakota State February 17th. Let's pack the Baxter. Get your tickets now by calling 402-554-MAVS or by going to omavs.com/tickets.
Roofing, siding, and gutters. Make the right call with the rooferys at John Higgins Weather Guard.
Who do you want to talk about first?
Mitch Sherman, The Athletic.
He can play. And we need people that can play.
And we'll never be royal. Let me live that fantasy. Oh.
Mitch Sherman, The Athletic. On the Connor Happer Show. On 1620, The Zone.
He can play.
Oh, what's that? My producer's telling me that the Royals are actually relevant enough for me to ask a question about the Royals to Mitch Sherman of The Athletic, who joins us now on the 42 Degrees Source Hotline. Hello, Mitch.
Connor, we are living that fantasy about
Exactly. Oh man, I didn't even know what to do with myself. I think you had the same reaction as me when you learned that Bobby Witt Jr. had signed a nearly $300 million guaranteed contract, and it was with the Kansas City Royals. I thought to myself, where am I? What am I doing? Is this real? And it turns out it actually is. We're a couple days later now.
I really almost fell over. I should have been sitting down when that news came across my screen. I even signed in and watched the press conference yesterday with Bobby just to make sure that it's really happening.
Okay, the takeaway is that it was happening, right? It's still real.
He talked about it, so yeah, it was actually him.
He's going to be there for the next 7 years at least, and then he'll probably opt out, and whatever will happen during that period of time. They've created themselves a basically a 7-year window to do something with before their star player turns like 30 years old and ends up playing for the Yankees or something like that.
Yeah, that's not the route that I want to go down today, though.
But it's a deadline. There's a deadline there. So now we get to dream about the next 7 years.
Is a long time.
It is.
Yeah,
It is.
Who knows? I mean, if they're a new stadium at that point, and maybe the Royals have come out of a slumber earlier than the normal 30-year clock dictates, we could be talking about a totally different circumstance. I mean, they'll still be the Royals in 2030, but
theoretically,
yeah, right. But I mean, 7 years of Bobby Witt Jr. sounds fantastic. I mean, he's getting married. He's marrying the Royals. I mean, it's just all coming together.
I know
for Bobby.
It makes me very excited. Makes me very, very excited. Okay, another thing that used to make people excited is National Signing Day, but now it doesn't matter anymore. But there will still be a press conference today with Matt Rule, where he'll introduce some of the new members of the 2024 class, and I'm sure we'll get to various other topics like new coaches on the staff and any sort of jumbles and movements that there were. And keep in mind that the press conference was supposed to be basically going on right now, but that got moved back for definitely a reason that has to do with the recruit announcing at 2:30. Mitch, what do you think we'll get into today? What are the topics du jour with Matt Rule?
It'll probably begin with him talking about the names that were added today, and we've seen those come out through the Nebraska football social media channels. Kamir Prescott, the DB from Philadelphia, being the most notable so far, and really the only one who hadn't previously been reported. He was expected to commit to Nebraska, but this is a former Wisconsin commit. So regardless of what the scholarship NIL setup is with him or Keona Wilhite this afternoon, I think people should be excited about the addition of those two names to this class. They're legitimate scholarship-worthy players, Big Ten caliber players who were recruited by schools and major conferences around the country. So that's and the return of Matt Rule and his staff to the state of Pennsylvania and to Philadelphia in particular, I think is a good sign, because they hit that area hard in the first weeks on the job over a year ago now, and the Huskers were somewhat absent in recruiting that part of the country, or at least Pennsylvania, in this cycle. So at least you stay active there with Prescott. and it's an area that I know moving into the future they want to find talent. So that's a positive, and same with getting a player out of Arizona. There should be doors that continue to open in the West for Nebraska, with USC and UCLA coming into the Big Ten, and games being played in that part of the country. And of course, there's a ton of talent there that Nebraska wants to also get into. So these things today, I think, fall under the category of expanding Nebraska's recruiting influence nationally. And that I'm sure will be topic number one today, but we'll quickly get into questions about Glenn Thomas and his addition. And I think how this, now that we're into February, how this month is going with the mat drills getting going, and just the integration of all of these early enrollees, 20 plus early enrollees, headlined by the transfers and by the quarterback.
Well, yeah, I think that's another thing. I mean, we haven't got the chance to, and I don't know that the transfers that Nebraska got, most of which will be playing, a role for them this coming fall. How significant, in some cases starting, in some cases, playing time, but they were careful with the way that they added transfer players, but they maybe went more under the radar this time around with all the timing with Dylan Raiola joining on the class back in December. This might be a day where we end up talking about those guys and their impact and how they've acclimated and stuff like that. Cause it's not like it's not an insignificant deal that Nebraska, Dante Dowdell is going to be in the running at running back, and Jamal Banks is going to play wide receiver for Nebraska, and Isaiah Nair probably will as well. And Mike Mazuka is going to start in the offensive line probably. And Stephon Thompson's been playing for 3 years at Syracuse. Like those guys are interesting additions to the puzzle, and we haven't really talked much about them yet.
Yeah, as you mentioned, they all have chances to be big contributors. In theory, all of them could start. I don't think that'll happen. I mean, as you see I went back and looked at this time a year ago at the players who I projected from the transfer portal to make a difference at Nebraska, and some did and some didn't. I mean, at this time a year ago, we couldn't talk enough about Jeff Sims and Eric Gilbert, and the stories there and what happened with those two. But then there were others in that portal class, like Ben Scott, who made a huge impact at Nebraska in their first year. And then there were players that Matt Rule and his staff developed who came out of the portal the year before, or at least out of the in the newcomer class the year before. Well, they were out of the portal. Omar Brown, he made a big impact at Nebraska. Deshaun Singleton, before he got hurt, he was a JUCO guy who made a big impact at Nebraska. So it's really not just about all of the newcomers. I think that there should be excitement, and this is probably what's more under the radar, about the players who've had another year in the program to develop. That more than anything, I think will dictate. Well, it will play a big role in dictating just how far Nebraska can go and what its ceiling is in 2024. Not just the newcomers, but the players who've been in the program and had time to develop and now can blossom in Matt Rule's second year.
Hey, you wrote a little bit about Nebraska basketball too, as they head into a significant road game tonight, and then the schedule sort of loosens up on them. Just because you check in every once in a while with them, like your takeaways from that team right now and the position that they've put themselves in as it pertains to an NCAA tournament berth.
Yeah, I might be checking in more and more often as we get into this final 8-game stretch. So after tonight, there's 7 left, and it's a favorable schedule for Nebraska. So of course you want to win, because you got to somewhere find a road win. I mean, I think you can there's still a path to the NCAA tournament if you go 0 for the road in the Big Ten, but that would make for a nervous Selection Sunday, just because that's a big talking point that is not in your favor. So why don't they just get it out of the way with tonight? I think that should be the mentality for Fred Hoiberg and his team. They almost did it on Sunday. This is tough because it's a quick turnaround. You've played 2 overtime games in the last 5 days. So has Northwestern. Northwestern played 2 overtime games last week and lost both of those games, but they were a day earlier, both of them, and they didn't have to travel for this game. Northwestern also is very good at home, much like Nebraska, with just the one head-scratching loss to Chicago State. I believe that's what it is. When
correct. Yeah.
When I looked at the Cats schedule yesterday, I had to make sure it wasn't a misprint. But they've taken care of business at home in the Big Ten, like Nebraska, and similarly, Northwestern has wins against Purdue and Illinois at home. So this is going to be tough, and you have to if you're projecting things, you project this as a loss, so they come home under 500 in the league and 16-8 overall. And I think that's where just historically Nebraska fans would start to go, oh no, this the dark clouds are setting in, and I don't think that's what should happen. I think I look at this team. I wrote this in the piece that came out yesterday. I think Nebraska there's a more likely chance that Nebraska wins a game in the NCAA tournament this year than that it does not make the dance. So, because of the position that they're in and the schedule that's left after tonight, it's 4 home games, 3 road games, no ranked teams, only one team with an NET. It's not a Freudian slip there. NET in the top 100. And so it's there for the taking. Keep playing the way that you played, and Fred Hoiberg's teams have shown the ability in recent years to improve down the stretch, play their best basketball in February. If they do that, they're going to be fine. They're going to be sitting on Selection Sunday with 21 or 22 wins, and it's not going to be an issue.
Hey, Mitch, when you think about the Big Ten and the SEC collaborating on whatever, it doesn't even have to mean anything, but just the idea of those two getting together and sharing ideas and thinking about what the future of college athletics might look like. What's the first thing that comes to your head? Like, where does your brain go first?
Just that they're preparing to take over. So there's no vacuum of leadership and power when the NCAA crumbles at the feet of America's court system. At some point, if the governing body continues to lose court cases, and I know they got a small victory this week in court, but probably not something that's going to be long lasting, or it's just kind of holding off the wave. They can't withstand that. The NCAA can't withstand the kind of beating that it's taken, and just to the model that it wants to use to run college sports. It can't withstand that forever. So the Big Ten and the SEC as the chief moneymakers in the sport, and the 2 leagues that hold the most power and are consolidating power right now, in football at least, it's over for Texas and Oklahoma in the Big 12, and it's over for the 4 former Pac-12 or the 4 Pac-12 schools in the Pac-12. They're essentially on their way to the Big Ten. It'll be official this summer. And now is as good a time or a better time than any for these 2 leagues to flex their muscles and surprisingly, in some way, form an alliance. I don't know that I foresaw that, but it does make some sense because they hold the cards in college sports, and I think there will be a time where they can use that to their advantage and prevent the whole thing from going into kind of lawlessness.
And then they'll all stream all their games on the new fun app where you can get all of the Fox and ESPN games, which will be a lot of fun for everyone.
That, Connor, that's a great point, that in the same week or the same period of days where the Big Ten and the SEC announced a union of some sorts, that Fox and ESPN do the same when it comes to a streaming package. So I don't know. Maybe you can start to see the future a little bit more clearly.
Yeah, it's certainly starting to look that way. All right, Mitch, we'll let you go. Appreciate you taking the time as always, and enjoy the week.
Okay, thanks. Good to talk to you.
Mitch Sherman of The Athletic. Good stuff from him as always, and he'll be at the press conference this afternoon asking hard-hitting questions to Matt Rule and whoever else may show up.
You better.
While we were talking to Mitch.
Yeah, what's going on out there, Connor?
So we should actually probably start like a Twitter account. Things that happen at 50th and Dodge, just invariably throughout all of our shows throughout the day, because we have a constant eye look out. We don't have the technology like a camera, so we could check in. Although that would be fun.
Oh yeah,
like we could pull it up on the stream, Josh, and just here's what's going on. Let's check and see what's going on at 50th and Dodge. If we turn on the camera right now, the car has since moved out of the middle of the road.
Oh, it has. Okay.
There was a car that was just sitting in the middle of the road sideways on Omaha's busiest street, affecting both directions of traffic. It was sitting there in that direction because it hit an Amazon Prime truck.
Oh, now that's not in the picture.
Nope, it's over there on the side.
Okay.
Pulled off onto 51st Street. Cops came through. They basically just said, hey, please move and get out of the middle of Dodge Street and take care of this.
Interesting.
And then they left. And I think they're trying to figure out what the Amazon driver right now.
Your photo is now up on 1620 The Zone TV.
Oh, good.
For everyone to see.
Yeah, there you go. See that car right there? That silver car going the wrong way? That's not moving. That's parked. The Amazon truck is probably either blocked by this sign or to the left of this sign.
Okay.
I should have gone sideways camera, not up and down camera. I'm an idiot. But yeah, then the Amazon truck lost some pieces to it.
Oh.
And
now I'm expecting some packages.
There goes the Amazon driver right across Dodge Street.
Good.
And he's hopping back in. Looks like he collected some information and might be on his way. But he lost some pieces of his truck that were in the middle of the road, and those were being run over by people who were not interested in stopping, who were eastbound on Dodge Street.
Well, sure, it's Dodge Street. You don't stop on Dodge Street.
You do not stop. You do not turn left. You do not pass go. You do not collect $200 on Dodge Street. And so it looks like this situation has been rectified generally, but
also great advertisement for Spicoli and Meg Mornings on Sweet 98.5.
Great advertisement for our billboard, which works.
85% of it.
You ever notice when they go through the rotations on that billboard that when they mention that 1620 The Zone exists, it's up there for less than a second? And all I know is the Spicoli and Meg Mornings one is up there for at least 3 seconds.
Yeah. I mean,
they just go flash, 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 flash. Sweet 98.5. Flash.
Neil's the only one who knows how to work that machine, and he's no longer here.
Can we commandeer it? Like, where is the computer that controls
I don't know.
this?
If we figured that out, I imagine, yes, we could commandeer it and no one would notice or care.
Okay. I'd be interested in that. Potential bits.
Yeah.
Are baked inside of that sign. But we are missing a couple lights on it.
We don't know where to get new ones.
No, it's way too old of a board at this point.
Right.
There's no way they make replacement parts for it. They would come by and they'd inspect it and they'd be like, hey, we're not going to be able to fix your lights, but we can get you a whole new LED board.
And we're like, because if we take that down, it can't be as tall. Like that's the new city
we got
ordinance.
grandfathered in. Yeah. Remember when radio stations had billboards?
We're like, yeah, we kind of like the height.
Yeah.
More than whether or not the sign works.
Yeah. So if we lose any more light bulbs on there, we probably gotta Gorbabov it, tear down that sign, Mr. Gorbabov. But now it just gets to see all the some front end damage there on that silver car.
Oh, really?
It's finally getting out of here now.
It looked like no contact had been made.
Yeah, no, there's contact.
Okay.
Looking at it right now. And there goes the Amazon truck, and we're off on our way, and it's like nothing ever happened.
Okay, but my packages are still on there?
They're still on that truck.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, good.
And they appear to be safe.
Expecting a couple birthday presents and then something for me.
Josh has the odd news when we return on 1620 The Zone.
For the Jays, the Huskers, and even you Jayskers, we are 1620 The Zone.
It's the most time-honored tradition to start the weekend, grabbing a cold one from a local Nebraska brewery. Let's be real here. It's cold outside, and you don't want to drink the same boring beer as those Hawkeye fans. Drink Nebraska-brewed beer, cider, or seltzers instead. Each week, we're putting the spotlight on a unique Nebraska brewery with One Beer Friday. Share your brew on social media with the hashtag One Beer Friday, and you'll be entered to win a $25 gift card to a local Nebraska brewery. Nebraska is the good life with great beer. Click nebraska.beer to learn more.
At Churco, Chef Dave blends the distinctive food of Northern Italy with the melting pot of American cuisine to bring a unique fusion of style and flavors to West Omaha. From fresh pastas handcrafted daily to house-dry aged steaks, focaccia bread baked daily. Churco is perfect for date night or any night. Churco features crafted unique cocktails, an extensive Italian and American wine list, and a robust happy hour Tuesday through Sundays. Churco, located at 192nd and Q and CIRCOomaha.com.
The week is here. It's Super Bowl week, and happy Super Bowl week to all those who celebrate from FanDuel, America's #1 sports book. John and Josh here to tell you that this is now the time. You got to get in because football season's almost over, and new customers who join FanDuel today can get $200 in bonus bets if your first bet of $5 or more wins. And when you check out the Super Bowl props, man, there are a lot of them. And you can get some great odds right now by visiting FanDuel.com/1620.
As John said, $200 in bonus bets if that first bet wins. Again, FanDuel.com/1620 today. Check out all the prop bets, anytime touchdowns, first down scores, whatever it is, so much more, all available right now at FanDuel.com/1620. 21 plus and present in Iowa. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued is non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-BETS-OFF.
Hi, we're the Goo Goo Dolls. We're fortunate that we can give our daughters everything they need to grow and learn. But not every child can focus on classes and play dates.
Nearly 13 million kids in the U.S. face hunger. That's 1 in 6. School lunch might be their only meal each day, and it's heartbreaking to imagine any child going to bed hungry. We're dreaming of a perfect day when kids can smile, play, and just be kids without worrying about where their next meal will come from. Feeding America is working to make that perfect day a reality.
Each year, the Feeding America network of food banks rescues billions of pounds of good food that would have gone to waste. That food is given to families and children in need. Being a kid should be about doing things that make an ordinary day extraordinary. Learning to play an instrument, building a sandcastle, hosting tea parties. Hunger should never be an obstacle to growing up.
You can help end childhood hunger in your community by visiting feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Major phone carriers make you sign contracts with rigid data plans to trap you into a kind of forced phonogamy. Sounds pretty insecure if you ask me. At Consumer Cellular, we believe in a more consensual and healthy form of phonogamy, free of contracts and more flexible to your data needs. This way, you stick around not because we force you to with contracts and fees, but because you love our phone plans. Like ardently love our phone plans. Phonogamously. Consumer Cellular. When freedom calls, we're here to answer. Call us at 1-888-FREEDOM.
And now we've reached the point in the show where Josh Odson reads the peculiar, the bizarre, the comical, the odd news with Odd Son. Odd news, Odd Son. See what we did there? The odd news with Odd Son.
Don't forget to get your questions in for the tweet bag, which is coming up here in a mere moments. Mere moments, not a mere moments.
Next segment.
At Happer Show on the JTech Construction Zone Twitter feed. Send those in. Use the hashtag tweetbag. We also got a couple on the old inbox. And then, of course, the text line as well. And YouTube, too. Can't forget about y'all.
Even if it's a YouTube comment, it's still a tweet.
It's still a tweet. All right, Josh. Josh has informed me that he's happy with his selections for Odd News today.
I like all three stories.
I think I'll be the judge of that.
Often there's two that I like. One slid into the middle, but I like all three today.
Okay. You very rarely go over 3. I'll give you that.
Super Bowl week is a stressful time for producers of content-related shows like this one.
Unless you're best friends with Frank Kelly.
Yeah, and you just, hey, need a favor, Frankie, baby. It is like, okay, anything for you, Josh.
Joshy Washy. I'm just going to skip over that.
WFAN's Boomer and Geo is a show that exists.
It is.
In New York.
New York. Let's check it on the New York media.
I believe there's a national simulcast for that on like CBS Sports Network Part 2 or something like that.
Oh, yeah. They got the whole studio set up. They're looking good over there.
Sure. They got major dollars, major guests. Who wouldn't want to come on Boomer and Geo the week of the Super Bowl?
Exactly.
Their producer saw Randy Moss as a potential guest and said, Super Bowl week? I got to get Randy Moss on Boomer and Geo. And that's exactly what he did. Now, they asked, Boomer and Geo asked their longtime producer, Al Dukes, hey, what's Randy coming on to promote?
Because Good question.
Gio is a big Minnesota Vikings fan, so he was super excited to have the wide receiver on the show. And Al Dukes said, something to do with horse racing. I'm not really sure. He's really into horse racing. And that's when Gio asked, are you sure this isn't the other Randy Moss? The Randy Moss who covers horse racing for NBC. And that's when Al Dukes said, what do you mean there's another Randy Moss? And everyone sort of realized that they did not book the former Marshall standout Randy Moss.
I'm just glad it didn't happen while they were talking to the guy. You know? Like, first of all, what a great bit by whatever Randy Moss is hawking. You know,
hey, promote it the week of the Super Bowl. Someone will accidentally book you.
Exactly. I saw a couple other producers of national radio shows or podcasts yesterday saying that they got the exact same email. Josh, you may have received it, honestly.
Maybe.
That they got the exact same email. And they did mention that it was sort of misleading. Maybe not intentionally misleading, but they didn't say
horse racing's Randy
Moss right off the bat.
Yeah.
What you had to do, unfortunately for Americans, is that you had to read the second paragraph.
We don't do that.
To realize that, yes, it's the horse racing Randy Moss, and it's not real life football Randy Moss.
Al Dukes went through the emails, the correspondence with Randy Moss and Randy Moss's people, and regrets declining the headshot and bio that he was offered, saying, no, we know who Randy Moss is.
That's awesome.
Might have been a reason they offered it to him.
That's pretty good stuff. Pretty good stuff.
PSA for the fellas listening. Today is February 7th. That means we are 1 week away from Valentine's Day. Plenty of time.
You got a PSA for the fellas. I got a PSA for the ladies.
Oh?
Yes. Here's what I want to tell the ladies. If you're single on Valentine's Day.
Oh, no.
What?
I know where you're going with this.
Why is this an oh no?
People like this thing you're about to trash.
If you are single on Valentine's Day and you want to revel in the fact that you're all single and this, whatever it might be, please, I beg you, do not call it Galentine's Day. Don't do it. It's stupid. That's it.
Connor, why is it stupid?
That's my take. It's just dumb. I don't like it.
Well, maybe you'll be forced to celebrate Galentine's Day.
Not me. I'm not a gal.
After this promotional event from Pizza Hut, scheduled to take place now through Valentine's Day, you can send, I guess, former loved one a hot honey goodbye pie. And Pizza Hut promises that the delivery driver will break up with this person for you.
That's a good bit. I like that.
The limited edition pizza comes in a custom box with a broken pizza heart and a spot to write the breakup-ease
Dear John
name. Yes. Wrote me a John Deere letter.
Wrote me a John Deere letter.
The deal is only available in New York, Chicago, and Miami, but you're not out of luck if you live elsewhere. Like if you're listening to this show. Yeah. You can ask Pizza Hut to send a breakup text to your future ex along with a gift card for a goodbye pie.
Cool.
You can go to goodbyepies.com and have Pizza Hut break up with your significant other for you.
Okay. Head over to goodbyepies.com right now.
That's just an amazing idea that I cannot believe got through the planning stages and someone said, yes, this is good for our brand.
All right, so I did one click, and here's the screen that I got to. It looks like a sympathy card, and it says heartbreaking. Goodbye pies are sold out for the day. But don't worry, they'll be back every day through Valentine's Day. It's only 12:03 p.m. Luckily, we have some backup plans. We'll generate an expertly crafted, carefully curated, and potentially plausible breakup excuse for you. And then there's a button that says excuse generator. I have clicked on it.
Okay.
And here's what it says. I want a partner who likes long walks and cuddling and giving me kisses. And now that I'm saying that, I think I'm just describing a dog.
All right.
That doesn't.
I don't love that one.
There's no.
I don't love that one.
You're not actually breaking up with them. You're
No.
just saying you'd rather be with a dog. All right, I'm going to try another one.
Okay.
Another one involving a dog.
Sure.
My dog doesn't like you.
Now that's plausible.
Can we get to one that doesn't involve a dog?
Connor out on dogs again.
I don't want to be with you, but I'd still like the right to call you if there's a spider in my house. All right. They almost did this pretty good. Those are bad jokes.
They are. They are.
And obviously they're purposefully bad, but they could have been purposefully worse if you were going that direction. Okay. I like this. Good job, Pizza Hut.
And finally, ahead of the Super Bowl, which is Sunday, people forget, the LA Times has done a profile on one Jim Nance where he detailed his food habits. We have weird food takes here at 1620 The Zone. Al Michaels has weird food takes. He's never eaten a vegetable. I call BS on that. Dan Orlovsky doesn't like seasoning of food, which can't surprise many of us here. Jim Nance eats. Well, first of all, if you don't know the old story from like Golf Digest, I think it is like 6, maybe 10 years ago, Jim Nance keeps a picture of how burnt he likes his toast in his wallet,
and he shows people.
And he showed like, this is the color I want it.
I remember
I'm
that.
serious when I say this.
Yeah, he's a weirdo.
Bring it back to me looking like this.
He's a weirdo,
friend. And he eats a hot dog during every NFL halftime game and loves stadium popcorn.
Good take.
During the commercials, he will be shoveling popcorn into his mouth, which I bring up because we love popcorn on this show. And also,
cough.
Yeah, every Friday usually during our chat with Brian Christopherson, Connor at one point he calls it a cough. I'm going to call it a gag.
It's not a gag. It's not a gag. It just gets caught in the wrong.
Yep.
You know.
And Jim Nance says, luckily he avoids it. I'm going against every rule in live television.
I think, poll question, who eats popcorn in a more dignified way? Me or Jim Nance?
Oh, okay.
Jim Nance, by a long shot.
Yeah.
I'm prepared to lose that. So I would imagine that Jim Nance does a pretty good job. Like, he's just a very clean guy. He's very clean.
Yes, he eats his hot dog. The LA Times piece says by leaning forward so that no drippings land on his suit.
He likes 3 dogs. What's wrong with that?
And he does not eat the last bite of hot dog. He says it makes him feel better about eating hot dogs because he can go back and say, I didn't even finish it. That's not a joke. That's what Jim Nance said in the Los Angeles Times.
So I wish we knew
journalism, people.
I wish we knew more stuff about Jim Nance, because the more stuff that we know, the weirder he gets.
Right.
And like this is only funny because of the image that we have of Jim Nance. The like sweaters and the man gave his tie to the best player in the NCAA basketball tournament for years. His tie, you know, he has his own wine line. He has a par 3 in his backyard, right? So it's funny that he slams a couple dogs during the Super Bowl every year.
Yes.
That's pretty good. Now, was there any research on condiments?
Yes, I'm glad you brought that up. I thought we were done. He doesn't have time during halftime to fiddle with the little packets of ketchup, so he travels with his own bottle of ketchup.
He's a ketchup guy. Gee, where's Jim? Where's Jim from originally?
Oh, good question.
Houston, right?
Maybe.
Didn't we have that whole thing last year where he was like Houston because it was in Houston?
Houston, Vegas.
He went to Houston. He was born in Charlotte.
Interesting.
Okay, so he's not like an East Coast elite.
He also says he has
which makes him, out on mustard.
A Las Vegas dinner reservation the night before the Super Bowl to binge stone crab. That is his favorite food, and popcorn is his second favorite, he says.
Stone crab and popcorn, 1 and 2 for Jim Nance. I I heard about the story earlier because apparently it popped up on the FMDJ's prep website today.
Interesting. I had to go find it on the internet.
Yeah.
Like a savage.
And then I was promptly asked by one of our unnamed FMDJs here in our building, who is Jim Nance?
Sure.
And then I had to describe Jim Nance, which I had never done before.
How'd you do that?
I was just like,
out of curiosity.
He's just he's like an older sweater vest guy who calls the Super Bowls.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate. Yeah, sure.
And I don't know if they're using. So if you listen to Sweet 98.5 or Power 106.9 or 101.9 The Keg today, you may hear something else about Jim Nance throughout the day.
Maybe.
Josh, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we will come back. It's time for the tweet bag. Get your questions in at Happer Show, at Connor Happer, on the JTech Construction Zone Twitter feed, or any other way you'd like to get in touch with the show. We'll open that up for a couple minutes next on the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
The Connor Happer Show. Follow us on Twitter at Happer Show for all the latest news and views. We may even say something interesting once in a while.
Unlikely.
Really, guys? Live from the Host Coffee Studio, this is 1620 The Zone.
42 Degrees is showing you the love with sweet deals on Creighton and Delta products. Buy one, get one half off. 25% off CBD melatonin products. 30% off premium pre-rolls from Top Shelf, Budsburn, and Tyson. Cube disposables, 4 for $20. And 42 Degrees gummies are way better than a box of chocolates. They're 20% off now through Valentine's Day at 42 Degrees. Your destination for top-tier cannabis, second to none product selection, and exceptional service. By your mom's house.
JTech Construction, the official exterior experts of the Huskers, offers exterior solutions that help you protect your number one investment. Whether it's roofing and siding or windows and doors, they're committed to excellence, quality, and outstanding customer service in every step of the process. When it's time to protect the exterior of your home, your choice is simple. Turn to who the Huskers turn to, JTech Construction. Check them out online and schedule a free estimate today. JTech Construction, the official exterior experts of the Huskers.
Major phone carriers make you sign contracts with rigid data plans to trap you into a kind of forced phonogamy. Sounds pretty insecure if you ask me. At Consumer Cellular, we believe in a more consensual and healthy form of phonogamy, free of contracts and more flexible to your data needs. This way, you stick around not because we force you to with contracts and fees, but because you love our phone plans. Like ardently love our phone plans. Phonogamously. Consumer Cellular. When freedom calls, we're here to answer. Call us at 1-888-FREEDOM.
Maverick baseball and softball are right around the corner. Get your season tickets today by calling 402-554-MAVS. This week, Omaha Maverick women's basketball takes on North Dakota and North Dakota State at Baxter Arena, while Omaha Maverick men's basketball is a game out of first place and making a run for the conference title. They take on South Dakota February 15th and South Dakota State February 17th. Let's pack the Baxter. Get your tickets now by calling 402-554-MAVS or by going to omavs.com/tigs.
No big game celebration is complete without a game of squares. Circus Sports now offers Circus Squares bets. Everyone who has played squares knows the pain of pulling terrible numbers. With Circus Squares, instead of randomly pulling numbers, choose your square and choose which numbers you get. With a minimum bet of $1 and a maximum payout of $100,000, it's easier than ever. Download the Circus Sports app and place your Circus Squares bets anywhere in Iowa. For more information, visit circusports.com. If you or someone you know may have a problem with gambling, call 1-800-238-7633.
Sometimes I just cannot believe all the storms we've gone through here. I can only hope that we'll be able to leave this house to you one day, baby. You're our legacy.
Planning for these disasters will make sure we're safe, and is the best way to protect that legacy. You know what? We should make an emergency communication plan. That way we're ready this year. At my dorm, we have emergency kits for earthquakes and wildfires, but I'm sure there's something more local I can send you with a link.
Okay.
Smart.
Protect your legacy. Visit ready.gov/plan for the tools and tips you need to start your emergency preparedness plan today. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
tickets for less. Best seats, best prices, no service fees. Shop ticketsforless.com. KOZN Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs. This is 1620 The Zone.
This is the Tweet Bag. You send your questions in, and we answer them. Like no other radio segment ever. It's the Tweet Bag on the Connor Happer Show.
All right, people of music, listen up. I got a take for you that I just cooked up during the break. You ready for this?
ISO play.
Yeah, clear out, everyone. Time for me to get out of the way. Hopefully I'm not like Trey Alexander and dribble it off my foot. All right, here we go. Yeah, that was a Creighton dig for all you people who said, oh, it was a Creighton homer. All right, here's the music take. Nick, I hope you're listening, and I hope he barges in here after this. Billie Eilish is the Ichiro of music.
All right, explain yourself.
Okay, thank you, Josh. I will. So Billie Eilish is universally now recognized as a person who is like incredibly talented. Like she is so good at what she does. But I've also seen her do like some other stuff and hit all these different pitches and notes and stuff like that. She's chosen to be sad, right? She's chosen to be kind of emo sad.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
She's 22. She might grow out of it.
Ichiro had chose throughout his entire baseball career to just hit for a really high average. But everyone always said that Ichiro could have hit 500 home runs in his career if he wanted to. When he wanted to go yard, he could go yard. I feel like Billie Eilish, that's in there somewhere. Right?
Yeah.
So I feel like she is the Ichiro of music. Is that totally fleshed out? I'm not sure. But I came up with it, and I thought it was done enough for me to debut on the air.
I cannot immediately dismiss it. I think you might even be right. Also,
what does Daniel think? Daniel, are you listening still?
If we
come back,
if we can't get to Nick, that's a good alternative.
Yeah.
Also, she's about to win her second Oscar. Not a lot of people have too.
She is so good. She's so good, and like she is. We can all see that when you might not like the music, but we can all see when a person is super talented. She is so good at singing. And sometimes it triggers me that she's only singing sad things.
Yeah.
Sometimes it triggers me when she's mumbling. She could do so many things with that lovely voice.
Belt one out to the back row.
That's what I'm saying. I want to see Ichiro go yard.
Have the confidence of an adult.
So I want Billie Eilish to do like a real commercial. Well, I mean, she's got a bunch of commercially popular songs. Like I want her to do a pop song.
9 Grammys.
Make Billie Eilish do a pop song.
Make a bop.
And that'd be like Ichiro hitting a bomb, hitting a home run.
Song of the summer. I want Billie Eilish to have the song of the summer.
Give me Billie Eilish on the song of the summer. All right. Hopefully that take didn't land on deaf ears, but I hope people heard it.
Yeah. Also, if someone in the building could get that take to Billie, that'd be great.
She doesn't know who Ichiro is. She wasn't alive for half of Ichiro's career.
Poll question: does Billie Eilish know who Ichiro is?
Please put that up.
Right, I'll get to cracking on that. You explain the tweet bag to people.
So there was that famous clip where Billie Eilish, she didn't know, she's so young, she didn't know what something was. And I can't remember what it was. Oh, yeah. She had only seen The Office on reruns. And I thought,
right.
Oh, no. When did The Office go off the air? Like 2014 or something like that? 2012?
It's got a lot of questions in a very rapid amount of time.
I could figure that
Maybe
out.
you figure one of them out for yourself.
The Office last episode.
2013?
2013. Billie Eilish is born probably what, like 2002 or something like that?
She's 22, so yeah.
There you go. She's like, yeah, I only saw it on reruns. Like, oh no. Oh, this cannot be good. Anyway, all right. Let's see if there's any reaction to this. Aaron.
Hi, Aaron.
I'd argue that most artists are at their best creative-wise when they have problems and are sad.
Okay, yeah, sure.
I like to paint. I like to do art. Mm-hmm. It's way easier for the creative process to come out when I'm in a mood.
Mm-hmm.
Artists throughout our history would agree. Van Gogh's ear, just a singular example.
Amazing Daniel has responded.
Okay. What do we got? What do we got? What do we got? Come on.
Look, I'm not known for my humble, modest nature. See screen name. However, as a musician, I don't feel comfortable saying anything that might even sound remotely critical of someone as wildly talented as Billie Eilish.
It's a compliment. It's a compliment. It's a compliment. No. You took it all wrong. No, you took it all wrong. It's 100% a compliment. Like, I guess the slight critical thing is like, I'm glad Ichiro didn't hit 500 bombs in his career. Like, that's a good thing. It was ultimately better for Ichiro's
He
career.
saw a market inefficiency. Hey, nobody's banging out single after single
Correct.
after single.
I'm going to hit 260 hits. I'm going to steal a whole bunch of bags. I'm going to throw people out at home from the right field wall.
That's
my deal.
Leadoff hitter.
That's my deal. Yes.
Because there's not a lot of leadoff hitters.
And that's what Billie Eilish, the baseball equivalent of all of that, or the music equivalent of all of those things, Billie Eilish is doing.
Not a lot of kids wearing burlap sacks and mumbling on the tracks.
I would just like to see. That sounded like a critique. I would just like to see what would happen if you put Billie Eilish on a pop song. I think she would crush it. She would destroy it. I always wanted to see Ichiro in a home run derby just one time.
Show us what you got.
Put Billie Eilish on one of those stupid song shows that they have, The Voice, and make her do a cover of some pop song.
I want
make her do a cover of Party in the USA or something like that. She would rock it.
Yeah.
She would kill it. All right, Tweet Bag. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Chris says maybe she just enjoys it, dude. Some people just play what they want to play. I made music in multiple bands over the years. I could have made rock or pop music. I enjoy metal and loud and fast music, so that's what I played. She clearly enjoys being sad. That's cool. That's cool. I'm just saying, what would happen? What would happen if you put Ichiro in the home run derby?
Connor Happer asking a woman to smile.
No, you guys are receiving this so wrong. This is totally not. No, this is all a compliment. I love Billie Eilish. She's so good. She's so insanely talented.
Amazingly talented.
All right, because they played the song, the Barbie song in the background of the Nebraska women's video that they did today. I was like, damn, she can really sing. Anyway.
Absolutely.
All right, to the text, to the tweet bag.
Charles kicks us off in the email inbox.
Hey, Charles, in the email box.
Equitable Bank inbox, if you want to get technical. What is the best fictional sports movie name? Shane Falco, Jimmy Chitwood, Mel Clark, other? I'm gonna go Jesus Shuttleworth.
Yeah, you gotta go Jesus.
And I'm not gonna think very hard about it. We could sit here and split hairs. Shane Falco is a great
great sports name for sure.
Johnny Utah, Point Break.
Give me two. All great options.
But the answer is Jesus Shuttleworth.
Jesus Shuttlesworth.
He got game.
Yeah, I think you're right. I'm trying to think of a competitor here. And I'm kind of drawing. That's obviously the first one that came to my mind. Yeah, I'm empty. I got nothing. Nothing that competes with Jesus Shuttlesworth. Such a great name.
It is.
Remember when Ray Allen had the Shuttlesworth jersey for what was that, like an NBA All-Star game one time?
Yeah, maybe they had like a players weekend thing where it's like, hey, put whatever you want on the back of these things. We don't care.
Great times. Great times. Remember when this guy at Villanova named Alan Ray? That was awesome. It's like, wow. I know Ray Allen. This is Alan Ray.
Kip emails in.
Hi, Kip.
Do you have a favorite crime television series? Mine is the OG Law and Order.
I don't watch crime shows.
Breaking
Pretty
Bad,
much Point
The
Blank.
Sopranos.
Yeah, I
mean,
guess
they're doing a lot of crimes on those shows.
Yeah, is it about the crime or is it about finding the people who committed the crime?
Yeah. I've caught a lot of NCIS through osmosis with my wife and father-in-law.
Yeah.
I don't hate it.
I do like. I will say this. I generally, from what I've seen, I've never watched one from start to finish. Like you said, I sort of picked off episodes, cherry picked from time to time. I have really liked what I've seen of like cop shows.
Yeah.
Those are pretty funny. Reno 911.
Okay. Dark horse candidate there. The X-Files, you know, little spooky crimes. Crimes. Kip has a second question. I'll allow it.
Yeah.
Are there any movies you watched too much as a kid to the point you still don't desire to watch them? We had a DVD player in the minivan growing up, and Mr. Deeds and School of Rock were always in the car.
Is this person serious?
Just watched School of Rock for the first time in 20 years because I saw it too many times prior.
Where did this how old do you think Kip is?
I will say my age ish.
Yeah, because
it's just a vibe. I have zero idea.
Maybe
a little older.
We took road trips during the summer. That was just sort of the thing. We hopped in the minivan and
family truckster.
Walked the family truckster and visited family on the East Coast, usually with some stops in between. World's largest ball of mud, things like that. And we'd pop movies in the DVD player. When we got it, wasn't. I had to wait a little bit in my life to get the DVD player in the van. I definitely remember a time where we didn't have that sort of technology. But once we did, I remember this one time, and I've told this story a lot. It was we just had Mr. Deeds. There's lots of Mr. Deeds. Mr. Deeds and School of Rock are two that Kip just mentioned. And the difference is, I wouldn't say that I currently don't desire to watch those movies. I probably got sick of them in the moment, but I'd be happy to watch Mr. Deeds today.
I will answer this question with Back to the Future and Back to the Future Part 2, which if you are my age, I'm 38 years young. We're on TBS, not figuratively every weekend, literally every weekend.
Here's the thing, about me and watching movies, as we know and as we've talked about a lot, I haven't spread out very far in terms of the genres of movies that I've seen. As Alex Trebek would say, I haven't spread my wings that much. Only at this point in my life, I start to feel bad and I start to watch movies because people tell me that I haven't watched it. But back in those times, and I was consuming a lot of movies, probably more than, certainly more than I am right now. I would just watch movies over and over and over again. I mean, like the same 7 movies over and over and over again. Obviously, Dumb and Dumber was one of them. Mr. Deeds, School of Rock. All the way up until we got to probably like Step Brothers. That was what, 2010-ish, somewhere around there.
Great movie.
That's when I graduated high school. So
08.
Yeah. 08. Yeah. So those were the movies. Just watched them over and over again. Also DVDs. You pop the DVD in, you don't have options. You just have what DVDs you have. And you are sort of forced to watch that one movie over and over and over again.
Or you could have a library of DVDs.
Yeah.
Taking up a ton of space in your basement.
Oh, yeah. I had that too. But there was only so many that you could bring with you. You bring the thing with you mobily, or you have them in the stack in the entertainment set. Remember entertainment sets?
Oh, yeah. John emails in. This will be a quick one.
Hi, John.
In your opinion, Connor, what is the difference between a quad 1 win and a quad 2 win?
The difference of one spot in the net rankings. One singular spot.
One spot. What do you have on the text line there?
I got a few. Pedro always hits us with one.
Oh, hello, Pedro.
Hi, guys. Connor, you get the chance to call a grand slam home run for the Royals to win the World Series. What would it sound like? I have to tell you what it would sound like. That, because I'd be dead. And then whoever Josh is my color guy, and he comes in and is like, Connor died. But
do I call the action in front of me, or do I call the action in the booth?
He died doing what I love. Here's 20 minutes of natural crowd sound, and honestly, it would work out better anyway. Yeah.
He's dead.
Yep.
No, I'm pretty sure he's dead.
Hit that cough button. You don't want to hear any of this stuff. Brian.
Hi, Brian.
If you have say $75 a month in your budget for all of your television channels, Are you getting the ad-free versions of fewer streaming services or getting the cheaper version with ads so you can have more options? Wow. Without knowing the exact, setup of how it looks like, if you're just giving me those two generalities, I think if I'm buying something, if I'm already spending money on something, I feel like I would be getting ripped off if I still had to watch ads. It's why I don't watch Hulu a lot. It's precisely why I don't watch Hulu.
Hulu is the one service.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is about Hulu, but when I watch stuff on Hulu, those ads drive me up the wall. I got other services where I don't have the ad-free version, and they give me ads throughout the program, and
their platform is not good.
Yeah.
It's kind of sketchy. Like,
I don't know what it is.
It's Welcome to Wrexham would have taken me an entire week to get through 2 seasons and like 40 episodes. I love that show. I watched it just over and over and over again. It's like 20 to 30 minute episodes, sometimes 40. I would have ripped through that thing so fast, but it took way longer than it needed to, just because I had to watch 2.5 minute ad breaks, and this is with everything, but like this is with television too. But like I said, I'm already buying the product, so I feel like I should just probably go that extra mile, get the ad-free product, so long as it's ad-free, because some people say that something's ad-free and then there's still ads that you have to click through and stuff like that. So yeah, I think I'd probably rather go with the premium package.
Oh, but Amazon Prime they popped up there. I was trying to watch something over the weekend and it said, hey, you get ads now. If you want to give us more money, you can have the ad-free version. And I said, no, thank you. I give you enough money on an annual basis.
I get that too.
You don't need more from me. Also, my wife often goes, why do you, and this is revealing too much about myself. Please don't make fun of me. I'm sharing a vulnerability with the audience. Why do you,
Josh, you forgot to cut a part of your hair.
Well, yeah. I mean, the headphones hide that. I could have gotten away with it if it weren't for you, Connor. Thank you.
I thought we were exposing your vulnerabilities.
Well, not that one.
Okay.
Just this one. She says, why do you DVR shows like The Golden Girls and X-Files? We have Hulu. It's on Hulu. I ain't sitting through those ads. This is The Golden Girls. It should take 19 minutes to get through an episode.
Thank you for explaining that, Josh, because you could have very easily said, like, I was watching a show called Road Dogs about, about
Racing for Pinks,
motorcycles and stuff like that.
I'm always watching Racing for Pinks.
But instead you told the truth and said, I record Golden Girls. And I respect you for that.
I do. Thank you. Hilarious show, by the way.
Aaron, if you could only see one director in only his movies or her movies in theaters for the rest of your life, which director would that be?
You don't know a single movie director, do you?
Don't know. I know. I definitely know names. I have no idea what they might have directed.
I'm going to go Spielberg because the catalog is the biggest combination of biggest and best. It's not the best. It's not the biggest, but I'm getting a large library of bangers if I go Steven Spielberg.
Let's see. The Farley brothers, they did Dumb and Dumber.
Dumb and Dumber. There's Something About Mary. Me, Myself, and Irene.
Me, Myself, and Irene. I don't want to watch that movie again, although I have at times. Kingpin?
Sure.
No, probably not. Maybe Judd Apatow?
Okay.
Those are kind of like rewatchable.
Martin Scorsese would give you some good ones.
Obviously. What do I get with Scorsese, Josh?
You're going to get Goodfellas. You're going to get Taxi Driver. You're going to get...
do I get...
those TV out of here.
Who did The Departed?
Martin Scorsese.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, that's good. Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah, if you're looking for serious movies, Marty might be the way to go.
And some of my...
Raging Bull.
Some of my favorite... Killers of the Flower Moon. Some of my favorite non-comedies are in the Scorsese section. So maybe that's the answer. I know that's kind of mainstream, but there you go. I know why Aaron asked that question, because he knew that my answer would be exactly what it was. So
Fairley Brothers?
No, he knew my answer. I mean, I don't know anything about directors.
Okay.
Let's pick random.
It was a trap.
It was a trap. Or maybe he was actually asking you the question. Didn't we have one in the did we have one in the inbox that I missed here?
Equitable Bank inbox where they take banking personally.
No, we did the names. On the names, by the way, Brad said sports names, fictitious sports names. Brad said Willie Beeman. It's a good one.
Definitely on the metal platform.
Yeah, he's up there at the end of the show. Okay, I think that's the tweet bag.
Oh, I found one here from an hour ago.
Oh yeah, go.
From Cody.
Hey, Cody.
On Twitter, of all places. If you had to work with your wife in a profession and had to work next to them the entire day, every day, what type of profession would you two be most successful in, and how long would you make this last? This also means you carpool to work together. Well, that's implied, right?
I feel like we do a pretty good job of understanding our strengths and weaknesses in the kitchen.
Okay.
Like there's a knowledge, and there's also a scouting report of what the other person sort of is expected to do. And like the dynamic for me and my wife is I take care of the big stuff, and and I'm the director of the movie. Right. So I get to say,
boss your wife around.
Here's what here's what you help me out with.
Okay,
here's where I could need an extra pair of hands. But all the big picture decisions, that's going to have to run through me. I like that dynamic. I like that dynamic, and not just because I get to boss around my wife, but I feel comfortable in that position.
Okay.
And so I think I'd be a decent chef. Now I'm not creative enough, right? But like, would I get the job done to make whatever food needs to be made? Yeah. So maybe I'm a line cook. Maybe I work at I'm in charge of the line at McDonald's.
Okay.
Or something like that. That's my answer. I would do that forever.
I would
love to work with my wife.
I've long held a theory that my wife and I could work very well together, but I'm too scared to try.
Yeah. Yeah. If you don't have to go that route, you don't need to.
Mm-hmm. I think we work well together.
It's just a lot of time being around one person.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody can handle that.
Absence makes the heart grow fonder.
We get sick of each other being around each other all day long.
Oh,
we're not even married. All of us here in the building, I mean.
Sure.
Oh yeah. It'll happen every once in a while. That's my answer. All right. Thank you, Cody, for sending that one in, and thank you all for participating in today's tweet bag, and thank you for listening to my take about Billie Eilish being Ichiro.
And Connor was right.
I was right?
Yeah, I think so. Why not?
Okay.
Let's give you one.
You've ruled in my favor. That's good. Back with more next on 1620 The Zone.
Previously on Unsportsmanlike Conduct.
The suspicious activity also included the Better Showing Sportsbook staff messages from Bohannon and explaining that the messages were Bohannon informing Better that Bama was scratching its starting pitcher before the game before Bohannon alerted LSU. So the guys, look, I have messages from the coach.
Unsportsmanlike Conduct with John Bishop and Josh Peterson. Weekdays 2 to 6 on 1620 The Zone. Your Omaha area forecast from the Godfather's Pizza Weather Center and KETV News Watch 7 on 1620 The Zone.
A strong south wind for the remainder of your Wednesday. Temperatures climbing to near 60 degrees. Overnight, you could see a sprinkle leading into 40-degree temperatures for tomorrow morning. Maybe a sprinkle throughout the day tomorrow as well, but temperatures still warming to near 60 degrees tomorrow. I'm meteorologist Luke Vickery, KETV News Watch 7.
It's a celebration of love at Saul's Jewelry and Loan. Now through Valentine's Day, get 50% off a huge selection of jewelry. Diamond rings, 50% off. Gold chains, 50% off. Bracelets, 50% off. Some exclusions apply. See store for details. It's the celebration of love sale at Saul's Jewelry and Loan.
72 Table and Tap hits the spot for creative food, craft beer, and bourbon. As in really good bourbon. 72 Table and Tap is just south of Ralston Arena. So stop in before or after the concert or game. Try one of the 20 beers on tap. Any one of the 150 whiskeys. Please stop by for Reserve Happy Hour Wednesday through Saturday, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. with great deals on drinks and snacks. There's a reason customers keep coming back. 72 Table and Tap. Eat, drink, gather, repeat.
Betting on your favorite sporting events just got a whole lot easier. Warhorse Sportsbook is now open in Omaha. Save yourself the drive across the river and put your money where your mouth is at Horseman's Park, 6303 Q Street. Use the Warhorse app to check odds and build your bets before placing your wagers in person, including live in-game betting. No bets, no glory. Wagers may only be placed on Nebraska-based teams when played outside the state of Nebraska. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Gambling problem? Call 1-833-BET-OVER.
Are you paying too much for term life insurance? A man age 50 non-tobacco user can obtain $500,000 of coverage for as little as $110 per month. Level rate for 20 years. That's right, guaranteed level rate for 20 years. If you're a smoker, there are great rates available for you as well. Call Term Busters for a quote. 1-800-908-7636. You're probably paying more than you should. Call 1-800-908-7636. Remember, call Term Busters. 1-800-908-7636. Sample rate for preferred non-tobacco rate class. Exam required to qualify.
The back seat. Check the back seat.
All right, come here.
Check the back seat.
Gets in your head, right? Good. Because every year, dozens of children are forgotten in the backseat of a car by a parent or caregiver. All never thought it could happen to them. But with changes in routines, distractions, or a sleeping child, it can happen to anyone. Parked cars get hot, fast, and can be deadly. So get it in your head.
Check the back seat.
A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
The week is here. It's Super Bowl week, and happy Super Bowl week to all those who celebrate from FanDuel, America's #1 sports book. John and Josh here to tell you that this is now the time. You got to get in because football season's almost over, and new customers who join FanDuel today can get $200 in bonus bets if your first bet of $5 or more wins. And when you check out the Super Bowl props, man, there are a lot of them. And you can get some great odds right now by visiting FanDuel.com/1620.
As John said, $200 in bonus bets if that first bet wins. Again, FanDuel.com/1620 today. Check out all the prop bets, anytime touchdowns, first down scores, whatever it is, so much more, all available right now at FanDuel.com/1620. 21 plus and present in Iowa, $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued is non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-BETS-OFF.
Let's get back to the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
Nebraska basketball visiting Northwestern tonight, and that happens generally about once a year. And that is an excuse for the Chicago newspaper to talk to their old friend.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Fred Hoiberg.
Way to localize that story. Yes.
This is from Steve Greenberg of the Chicago Sun-Times. Fred Hoiberg is back in business at Nebraska. One of the best stories in college basketball. Read you a little excerpt here. 4 years ago, as he prepared for a visit to Evanston, Hoiberg talked about sleepless nights in a conversation with the Sun-Times. ESPN had called him the worst coach in the NBA. The Bulls had kicked him to the curb despite an array of injuries to his key players. The Huskers were in a second consecutive season that would end with a pathetic win total of 7. Like in Nebraska, where Hoiberg had been forced to start over with 14 brand new names to the roster and zero shot at being competitive, seemingly was buried in the hoops wilderness. All that losing, it was brutal. Quote from Fred, but it feels like a different lifetime now, to be honest with you. Hoiberg said in a much more positive phone call. So many things have happened, changing jobs, moving my family, the pandemic, the new realities with NIL and the transfer portal in our business. I'm really happy where I am. I'm also very thankful for the opportunity and experience I had in Chicago.
Sounds like it.
Man, it really does feel like a lifetime ago.
Mm-hmm.
Freddie's really recreated himself, you know? And that, I mean, obviously it's led to Nebraska basketball having whatever level of success you deem this to be at this point. But, you know, there is a real different image to this program now. And he's building it in, you know, whether you like it or not, the program is built in the image of you as the head coach. You take the program. We oftentimes talk about players taking on the personality of coaches, and that's certainly true. But the program takes on the personality of the coach and how you want to be seen on social media and how you play basketball and just the approach that you take to everyday life and the balance between basketball and what your program looks like from the outside. They were trying to create a program for God knows what reason in the light of, hey, Nebraska is a destination. 5-star players come here. We have Fred Hoiberg, and Fred Hoiberg means we're going to have this really cool offense where we're going to do this crazy thing like shoot threes and only threes, and that's what Nebraska was, if it was Nebraska at all. And I think Fred needed some help and a kick in the butt from his new boss to say, actually, no, this is Nebraska. This is Nebraska. And it's whether or not you're going to be successful is aside from the idea, but it does have to have this sort of identity and coherent sort of, that's how you gain confidence as a program. You have to have this sort of coherent thought of what you are. And like it or not, Nebraska as a program has been, it's football, right? It's got football written all over it. But what was inside of the football, it's what we like to talk about all the time and what Trev likes to talk about all the time: toughness and physicality and hard working and all that stuff. And Fred was building a basketball program in the first 3 years here that was the antithesis of that.
Yeah.
the exact opposite of that.
They underwent a major pivot. Two years ago, a season and a half ago.
So here comes the success, and I don't know. I still feel like the program needs success to have the swagger, to get the swagger. I was talking about this with somebody last week, and not to compare everything to Creighton, but there is a real confidence in what they do. Yes, because they've been doing it for a long time and they know who they are. But there's a confidence in that comes from that. And I think once you have success of doing it over and over again, and it builds sort of linearly throughout time, that'll build that confidence. And so Fred's trying to get them to that place right now. Winning tonight would go a long way, Josh.
Yeah, he should go ahead and do
that. Here's how the Sun-Times story ends. Maybe Hoiberg can do what he did in Ames, where he grew up after the family moved. Quote, absolutely, he said, we can win here. If it can happen in Evanston, it could happen in Lincoln. With the right coach, it could happen almost anywhere. Good for the Sun-Times talking to Fred today. It was nice.
Just glad they know that Northwestern has athletics and covers them.
I know. Yeah. That's what's amazing about the entire thing. Well, you're going to hear a lot about Northwestern basketball again if they find their way into the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, for whatever reason, whenever they make the NCAA tournament, that's when you hear about all these celebrity Northwestern fans.
Mm-hmm. Oh, look, it's Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
That's the one I was thinking of.
There she is. Here comes Darren Rovell out of nowhere.
Mike Greenberg loves college basketball.
Michael Wilbon. Double buys are big. Here's my take on tonight. If Nebraska can win on the road and move to 7-6 in the league, 17-7 overall, you all of a sudden are only 3 wins away from that elusive 20 mark that it's sort of the moving target of what you're trying to get to, at least at the moment. And
it's the threshold. It's a big.
It feels like 20 is a big number. Like we keep track of 20-win seasons. Creighton's won 20 games for however many seasons in a row now, and however many out of however many sans 2015. It's important to get to 20 wins. It signifies that you are, on the threshold of the NCAA tournament or in the NCAA tournament. Some of the, they do it the best programs do it every single year. So there's that piece. And then there's obviously the moving target of what this year gets you in to the actual dance. And, if you win tonight, you're 3 wins short of it. You're 7-6 in the league. And, you pull up those conference standings, and Purdue's at 10-2, and Illinois is at 8-3. Wisconsin's at 8-3. And then there's a lot of teams at 6-5, 6-6, and 5-6. Nebraska could put themselves above the rest of them for the time being.
Hey.
For the time being. Well, I guess they'd be. But okay, so they're 6-6. Yeah, they'd have one more win than Northwestern. They'd have one more loss than Northwestern as well. But you'd put yourself on top of that heap right now with the group of Nebraska, Northwestern, Minnesota, Michigan State, Indiana's somehow 6-6, Iowa's 5-6, Penn State's 5-6 somehow, Maryland's 5-7, and then Rutgers is 4-7. All that we definitively know in the league this year is that Purdue and Illinois are the two best teams. Well, Purdue, Illinois, and Wisconsin are the 3 best teams in the league, and Ohio State and Michigan are the 2 worst. That's what we know. Everything else is up for grabs, including double buys in the Big Ten tournament, which have not been kind to Nebraska, but are still theoretically important to get. Do you like Nebraska plus 5.5 tonight, Josh? It's a moment of truth. 5.5. Moment of truth. Yeah, watch out for that boo-booey. He'll get you. He did not get Nebraska last time out, famously.
Man, Vegas is really good at their job.
Making you think here a little bit, huh? Let me start. I do.
Let me.
I do. I'd like Nebraska to go on the road and win the game tonight.
Okay, then let me make good radio, be the character, and I'll go the other way.
Tell me why.
It's a road game. You ever seen this team play on the road?
Yeah, I did on Sunday. It was awesome.
Losers.
They played really well.
No, there's no moral wins category. That's not part of the net.
What bothers me about it, and we'll talk about it with Creighton and Providence too in the 1:00 hour. What bothers me the most about it for Nebraska is like the other team is just a little bit more desperate here. I'm always a little bit concerned about the team who has already won the game at home and has to go on the road and do it again. Like, obviously that team is going to want it. And you're in really similar position as it pertains to the NCAA tournament. It's a big win for Northwestern to defend their home court tonight against Nebraska. If Nebraska could find that edge, just like they did on Sunday night, play hard and figure it out tonight. I think they're the better team, right? But that doesn't mean 100% of the time that you win. I do like Nebraska plus 5.5 tonight, and let's just say they win the ball game. Nebraska's going to win the ball game.
Show up. Good K-State or bad K-State? You don't know. You don't know.
I don't know. But here's my other K-State thing. I don't know that it matters that much. They've shown the ability to be successful in the absence of good K-State. Obviously, they're going to be good if they have good K-State.
How many cuts will Rink mass?
Several. Many scratches. Some tiger's going to roll out of the stands and just go, just claw him up. He's going to bleed from somewhere tonight. You can now check this out, by the way, on the FanDuel Sportsbook. There's a whole category for Nebraska basketball against Northwestern tonight, much like the Super Bowl this week. And it is, from which body part will Rink Mass bleed tonight? Is it A, shoulder? Is it B, nose? Is it C, face? Is it D, leg? Somewhere around there. Yeah, it's amazing, the stuff that they have in the FanDuel Sportsbook. Check it out. All right, we will come back. We'll still talk about Creighton in the 1:00 hour. A couple other things I want to get to as well, including what's going on with Chip Kelly, who is very interested in not coaching UCLA. Josh, by the way, what was that about? Did we confuse somebody on something?
Yeah, they thought we were saying Nebraska's favored by 5.5.
Plus 5.5. Plus 5.5. Underdogs by 5.5. My apologies. We'll be back with more next on 1620 The Zone.
Now live on Twitch, YouTube, and 1620thezone.com. Hey folks, Kent Pavelka again to tell you about your local concrete experts at Everlevel Concrete Repair. Now, if you have cracked, uneven concrete, Everlevel can fix it at a fraction of the cost compared to replacement. This is no Band-Aid. Their products are built to last. It gives your concrete the durable protection it needs, and there's still time. I chose Everlevel for my driveway, and I've got peace of mind with their long-term transferable warranty. Everlevel's products and customer service are top-notch, and that's why they've been voted Best of Omaha again this year. Say it with me. Everlevel, Everlevel, Everlevel.
What is dedication?
The thing that drives me every day as a dad is Dariana. We call him Day for short. Every day he's hungry for something, whether it's attention, affection, knowledge. And there's this huge responsibility in making sure that when he's no longer under my wing, that he's a good person. I think the advice I would give is you don't need to know all the answers. The craziest thing was believing that your dad knew everything. So as a dad, you felt like you had to know everything. You had to get everything right. It's okay to make mistakes. As long as it's coming from love, then, it kind of starts to work itself out. I want him to be able to sit back one day and go, we worked together, we did a good job.
That's dedication. Find out more at fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Where do my friends and other students find their voice? We find our voice through the performing arts, along with millions of other high school students. By expressing yourself in a role on stage, through an instrument, or at the debate podium, the performing arts give us freedom to find ourselves, to find our place. The stage is where I can play, perform, and compete with my friends.
Performing arts at your school is where creativity meets courage. Encourage the students in your life to find their voice through the performing arts. This message presented by the NFHS, where we encourage all students to play, perform, and compete together.
Hi, we're the Goo Goo Dolls. We're fortunate that we can give our daughters everything they need to grow and learn, but not every child can focus on classes and play dates.
Nearly 13 million kids in the U.S. face hunger. That's 1 in 6. School lunch might be their only meal each day, and it's heartbreaking to imagine any child going to bed hungry. We're dreaming of a perfect day when kids can smile, play, and just be kids without worrying about where their next meal will come from. Feeding America is working to make that perfect day a reality.
Each year, the Feeding America network of food banks rescues billions of pounds of good food that would have gone to waste. That food is given to families and children in need. Being a kid should be about doing things that make an ordinary day extraordinary. Learning to play an instrument, building a sandcastle, hosting tea parties. Hunger should never be an obstacle to growing up.
You can help end childhood hunger in your community by visiting feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
The world's largest sports book in Las Vegas is available right at your fingertips in Iowa. The Circa Sports Iowa app is sports betting the way it should be. Bet anywhere in Iowa and experience high betting limits, tight money line splits, and exceptional customer service. Download your new bookie today. Visit circasports.com and start betting like a pro from anywhere in Iowa. If you or someone you know may have a problem with gambling, call 1-800-238-7633.
We got another edition of the file of what's going to happen with the Oakland Athletics.
I saw this yesterday afternoon around dinner time, and my jaw hung open a little bit.
So
I was kind of shocked.
All right, so there's a little more to the story here. There's a little more to the story than the headline that has been going around the sports world, which is Las Vegas mayor says on a podcast that the A's should probably just work it out with Oakland.
Who would not want a professional sports franchise in their city?
Las Vegas Mayor Carolyn Goodman went on the Front Office Sports podcast And she said, and I quote, "Personally, I think the A's have got to figure out a way to stay in Oakland to make their dream come true."
Just
Vegas,
absolutely wild.
Vegas, of course, being one of the cities that has been highly rumored regarding the next destination of the Oakland Athletics. Now, here's what you need to know about the Vegas mayor.
Okay.
All right. So she does carry the title of the mayor of Las Vegas. The city lines basically end before the place where they're talking about the rumored ballpark expansion. The Tropicana is technically located in the neighboring unincorporated town of Paradise, Nevada, which the mayor of Las Vegas has no jurisdiction over.
Got a real Omaha storm chaser situation here.
Yes. The mayor of Vegas has absolutely no control or influence over what happens in Clark County outside the city of Las Vegas, which ends at Sahara Avenue, 3 miles north of the Tropicana. So basically anything on the main part of the strip that you always see on, video, you'll see it.
Connor.
What? Do I know too much about Vegas? What?
You said the part of the strip that you see on, and I just tried to fill in the blank by saying Conair.
Oh, yes. I thought you said Connor.
Oh, no, sorry.
Conair. Yes. The part of the strip you say on Conair, she has no jurisdiction over.
Oh, really?
Yes. And she is now walking back her comments.
Sure, because that's a wild statement to say.
Quote, "I want to be clear that I'm excited about the prospect of Major League Baseball in Vegas. And it very well may be that the Las Vegas A's become a reality that we'll welcome to our city. On February 5th, I was interviewed for the Front Office Sports podcast. It was one of my many interviews about the rise of Major League Sports in Vegas and how this weekend's Super Bowl,
one of my many interviews,
in a milestone in my former mayor Oscar Goodman's pursuit of sports teams for Vegas. We discussed several topics, including the A's, for about 7 minutes. When I mentioned the passionate fans of Oakland who often visit our city and cheer on the Raiders, my points included that it is my belief that in their perfect world, the ownership of the A's would like to have a new ballpark on the water in Oakland, that the ownership and government there should listen to their great fans and try and make that dream come true. Should that fail, Vegas has shown that it is a spectacular market for Major League Sports franchise." So there's a lot in that. But obviously the quote shouldn't have been said and taken out of context, both at the same time, and coming from a person who has no control whatsoever on whether the A's will move to Las Vegas, other than saying, welcome to town. Now, for the record, before we get to the whatever you're going to hit there, because I don't know what this is.
I know, it's fun.
For the record, I agree with Mayor Goodman. They should stay in Oakland. They should figure out a way to make it work in Oakland.
If you don't have a slam dunk plan to move, don't move. Like if they've got to, if they've got to get out of the Coliseum and move somewhere in the quote Oakland area,
the Bay Area.
Yeah.
The owners are so bad and so dumb that they put out this idea and like they thought, hey, we're going to be able to make the town of Oakland hate us because we're not going to put anybody on the field. We're not going to pay for anything. We're going to let our decrepit stadium go to crap. And then they're going to want us
literally
out.
There was feces in the dugout.
Yes. And then they're going to want us out. Obviously they don't. They still, and the owners are so dumb. They have no idea what's going on. They have no idea how to do any of this. And nobody knows what their vision is. It just seems like their vision is to move out of Oakland. And it turns out that's actually not the best situation for you, because I mean, you got to build a stadium, you got to figure out a town that wants you, and you got to make it work all on top of that. So the easiest solution is for them to obviously stay, but I don't know. We'll see what happens with the A's. What's going on, Josh? Is this one of your stupid fake news, breaking news updates?
No, this is real news. In Vegas, Super Bowl week.
Did we have a trouble?
We have a trouble.
Okay.
There's a man on the sphere.
A man?
A man on top of the sphere.
How has he gotten up there?
It appears as though he has climbed the sphere. He is now on top of the sphere and does not know what to do.
Where are you getting this information?
Of course, our friends at Las Vegas Local.
I love that Twitter account.
It came in really handy as we were talking about the goings on in Las Vegas. I had breaking Las Vegas news. There's a man on top of the sphere.
It does appear that there is a man on top of the sphere. And now he's trying to figure out how to not be on the sphere.
He would very much like to get down now.
He's going to need some help.
Yes.
Getting down from the sphere.
I would imagine so, yeah.
Maybe this wasn't completely thought out by the man who climbed the sphere.
Wasn't a fully fleshed out plan, you're saying?
Honestly, great job by either great job of hiding it by Las Vegas or great job by the people who are there for the Super Bowl this week. I've really heard of nothing. I've heard of nothing that's been out of the ordinary.
No,
obviously, they've had some unfortunate weather with the rain and in cool temperatures, I think. But other than that, I feel like this whole thing is going off pretty well so far. It is only Wednesday.
It is only Wednesday. It's about to ramp up. Maybe
people are starting to make their way to town.
Maybe tonight is the night that it really ramps up.
Maybe. All you have so far is Brock Purdy getting asked if he looks like Lee Harvey Oswald.
Yeah, we got to talk about that.
Let's just do it right now for a couple minutes while we're on Vegas in the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
So apparently this is a thing on the internet. Somebody figured out that Brock Purdy kind of looks like Lee Harvey Oswald, the guy who killed JFK, allegedly.
Not that drunk motorcycle cop. Or whatever.
This, by the way, sent me down a huge rabbit hole last night, and then I started...
Yeah, he does. He does.
Brock Purdy does look like Lee Harvey Oswald. Brock Purdy also looks like that one girl, high school girl on TikTok that everybody keeps. He looks like her too. If you guys have gotten to that part of the internet, congratulations. You've reached too deep. You can now turn back and go to the top of the surface. But he looks like Lee Harvey Oswald, and he looks like that high school girl. And so what do you do when you have all this access to players at the Super Bowl? You ask about anything.
You got to ask a unique question because he's been asked about being Mr. Irrelevant and how he compares to Patrick Mahomes.
Now, I don't have, like Josh said yesterday regarding something else, I have shame. So I cannot go to a press conference and ask the question about Brock Purdy looking like Lee Harvey Oswald, but some people don't. Some people ask about the Wisconsin thing that happened to Matt Rule at Big Ten Media Days last year. It happens. Some people don't have shame. And there was a guy who reached Brock Purdy last night at one of the media events who does not have shame. And they asked Brock, we don't have to play the audio because it's stupid. Hey, Brock, have you seen that the internet looks like the internet thinks you look like Lee Harvey Oswald? And he said, no, this is the first time I'm hearing about this right now. Yeah, no, this is the first time I'm hearing about this right now. Wow. This is the first time I'm hearing about this.
What do you think?
Yeah, the follow-up was naturally, well, now you're hearing it. What do you think? And he said...
And the question asker was... he did clarify physically only. Like, I'm not calling you a presidential assassinator.
It's a great test. It's a great test for Brock Purdy. How's he going to handle this situation? Mm-hmm. And he did it right. He said, I'd like to not comment. I'd like to not say anything about me potentially looking like Lee Harvey Oswald, which is the right way to go.
And if let's take it on face value that he genuinely has not heard this before. He's younger than me. I'm 38. I don't have a crystal clear picture of what Lee Harvey Oswald looks like.
No, but go to Google. He does.
Well, yeah. I mean, he doesn't have Google at his disposal, right? He can't say, excuse me, let me pull my phone out and Google Lee Harvey Oswald.
Let me check.
To see if you're right.
Let me check.
Oh, okay. No, turns out you're right. Yeah, he does.
He's just a very, very normal looking white guy. Mm-hmm. And so is Lee Harvey Oswald.
Yeah.
And so is that high school girl.
You want to say your joke?
That's on TikTok. Well, yeah, I just
I like your joke. It would make a good dismount.
I just went so then I went to Lee Harvey Oswald and I started reading about Lee Harvey Oswald and then obviously you happen upon Jack Ruby, who it's amazing that we have a guy named Jack Ruby, or we had a guy named Jack Ruby, and he killed Lee Harvey Oswald. And I just wondered what would have, it turned out that Jack Ruby didn't die until years later. He had a heart attack, a pulmonary embolism. That's how he died. But I wondered if somebody had killed Jack Ruby, to get back for him killing Lee Harvey Oswald, to get back for him killing JFK. And I just wondered if there would be like a kill chain just that went from JFK all the way until now. But it turns out no. Jack Ruby's heart killed him.
No kill chain.
No kill chain. So that's what I was doing last night.
Do the other one. The other joke's better.
What was the other joke? What did I do?
Yeah, I believe it's in the notes.
Oh yeah. Now I stole this one from Twitter.
Oh, okay.
I saw this one on Twitter yesterday. Brock Purdy, handshake meme, Lee Harvey Oswald, two people who couldn't have done it alone.
I like it. It's a good joke.
It is. It was pretty funny. All right, back with more. We'll talk about the Jays tonight in Providence. We haven't made any Dumb and Dumber quotes since 10:30, and I'm ashamed.
Itching, Jonesing.
Next on 1620 The Zone. But first, happy Super Bowl week to all who celebrate from FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. If you're ready to rock for Super Bowl Sunday, there's only one thing left to do. Get your bets in, and there are so many options for you on the FanDuel Sportsbook. So many ways for you to end the season with a dub or 2 or 3. So not only can you bet on who will win the game, but also who will score a touchdown, when they might score a touchdown, how many points will be scored in the game. There's squares. There's so much more on the FanDuel Sportsbook. New customers join today, and you'll get $200 in bonus bets if your first bet of $5 or more wins. So pick an easy one for you. Christian McCaffrey scoring a touchdown sounds nice to me. Head to FanDuel.com/Happer and sign up. FanDuel.com/Happer. Make every moment more with FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL. 21 and over, present in Iowa. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued is non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-BETS-OFF.
Live from the Host Coffee Studio, this is 1620 The Zone.
Host is roasting every morning. Host is roasting every day.
Since 1972, family-owned and locally roasted Host Coffee Service has been roasting the finest coffee for businesses and restaurants. If you're ready to change to a better coffee provider, it's time for Host Coffee.
Omaha's best coffee since 1972. Host Coffee is always roasting something good for you.
Love is in the air at the Woodcliff Restaurant in Fremont, just minutes from Omaha at Woodcliff Lake. Fall in love all over again with the small town charm and the culinary excellence of the Woodcliff Restaurant. With the Woodcliff Restaurant Cupids creating a very special menu for Valentine's Day. Make your reservations today by calling 402-721-2922. Perfect for the whole family or even your galentines. You'll love the Woodcliff Restaurant. Make your reservation today. Visit them at thewoodcliffrestaurant.com or on Facebook for specials and events.
You know what Mentality can help you with? Low energy, motivation, weight gain, muscle loss, fatigue, tired all the time, feeling anxious, moody, irritability, impatience, anxiety, and depression. Mentality can help you with their board-certified physicians and their testosterone treatments that can take care of you and get you back in the game. You can regain normal function and restore your ability to perform normally at all levels just by Mentality. Set up an appointment today. Go to lowtusa.com. Get back in the game. Don't sit on the sidelines and let Mentality lead the way.
Pizza's here. Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Progressive presents Flo and JB announcing a monster truck rally.
And here comes the obliterator. Whoa, and he's up on two wheels. That can't be safe. Oh, I don't recommend flipping your car backwards. Did he even check his blind spot? And the car's on fire. I definitely don't recommend that. This is one of my recurring nightmares.
Progressive is all about keeping it safe, so bundle your home and auto for 24/7 protection. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Coverage not provided for monster trucks. Not available in all states.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
If you're having problems in the bedroom, talking about it is the last thing you want to do. Same goes for hair loss, anxiety, or even depression. That's where HIMS comes in. Through HIMS, you don't have to talk about it. You can do something about it. Just go to hims.com/start, where you can find a variety of potential solutions for the problems men face every day and save up to 95% on generic alternatives. The entire process is 100% online, making it incredibly simple, straightforward, and above all, private. If prescribed, treatments made using clinically proven ingredients are shipped directly to your door in low-key packaging. So if you're experiencing ED, hair loss, anxiety, or problems with your general health, you don't have to go to the doctor, the pharmacy, or spend all day talking about it. Just go to hims.com/start and do something about it. Get started today at hims.com/start. That's HIMS.com/START.
This is your captain. We are going to be experiencing some slight turbulence. Please fasten your... Oh, hold on. Just got a video of my cat.
Imagine the pilot of an airplane was as confident as you are texting and driving. Seems kind of crazy when you put it like that.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Tickets for less. Best seats, best prices, no service fees. Shop ticketsforless.com. KOZN Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs. This is 1620 The Zone. Let's get back to the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
Here comes the clown.
Hey, how's Nick Saban enjoying retirement? Today's National Signing Day. Normally, he'd be stressing himself out with what
pacing in front of a fax machine.
17-year-olds and 18-year-olds are going to fax him. Instead, today in retirement, he is in Phoenix playing the Stadium Course Par 3 16th in front of thousands of his best friends. And if he makes it on the green, or if he makes it in the hole, he gets a beer shower from everyone. That's how Nick Saban is enjoying his retirement. I would imagine that he likes it quite a bit.
That would be my guess. Sure, yeah. Who wouldn't like that?
Might he do broadcasting next year?
Well, college game day action?
Maybe. Maybe somewhere along those lines.
Him and Pat McAfee sitting right next to each other behind that desk.
All right, the Blue Jays tonight headed to Providence. Time to quote Dumb and Dumber a whole bunch.
Heard Ryan Kalkbrenner took a stop at Mutt Cuts before the show.
So you reached out to John. Did you get a response from John on getting a copy of Rhode Island's favorite magazine?
I did. I'll be on the lookout for a newsstand. Kids, you'll need to Google newsstand.
Just buy that little whip he got. Or it's like a Slim Jim or something like that.
It was like a rubber ball attached to a paddle, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's right. He just got the case of beer and he leaves his wallet in the newsstand.
Ripes.
Old people, though slow and dangerous behind the wheel, can still serve a purpose. There won't be too many olds at Providence and Creighton tonight.
You don't think so?
The Jays are -2.5. No, they get angry. Remember, they don't like all the anger.
Oh, okay.
So I'm worried about a similar thing in both of the local basketball team games tonight. First of all, I'm always constantly worried if one of them wins and one of them loses, then they're throwing it in each other's faces. I'd rather have them both just win, and we all get to be happy and celebrate tomorrow. And I get to pull out the team sheets, and we get to talk about net rankings.
Yeah.
We could do the whole thing. I'd be really happy if that was the case tomorrow. I genuinely think that. And we'll talk to Frank Caliendo,
my close personal friend,
Josh's friend. But I'm worried about the same thing as I was in the Nebraska game pertaining to Northwestern, applying it to Providence tonight. They need this more. If we're being completely honest with everyone, Providence needs the game more than Creighton needs the game. Not to say that Creighton doesn't need it. because a road win is obviously, super significant, and it'd be statement making coming off of the loss to Butler at home on Friday night. But you get to, last time the Jays went on the road for a week, they got drilled by UConn on the Wednesday, came back and won the triple overtime game against Seton Hall. And so, and your road games are few and far between now. There's no long East Coast road swings anymore. So beating Providence on the road, a team that is right there on the bubble, like pulling up Bracket Matrix with our friends from Bracket Matrix, Josh. Providence is currently they are mentioned in 39 of the 93 accounted for brackets. So, I'm getting close to half.
Seton Hall and Xavier, the only two teams to walk in there this year and come out with a victory.
Nobody wins at the dunk / the amp.
I'm not calling it that.
I'm not calling that either.
It's the dunk.
I'm sorry. I apologize to Amica Mutual.
Yeah. This is their pink out game tonight in Providence.
And Trey and I think Ashworth talked about this the other day before they left. It's gotten to the point in the Big East where Creighton's been successful for long enough where teams pull out students, opposing students, and opposing marketing departments, they pull out the stops for Creighton. Teams want to beat Creighton. Sure. It's fun to beat Creighton. It really is. So, I think there's added energy that goes into the Creighton games because they've been historically one of the two most successful teams in this league since it, restarted a decade ago. And so there's added motivation and energy there too. I think they need it more. And it's a team that's just squarely on the bubble. They lost in Omaha. They're at home. They lost 2 in a row. They played like complete crap against Villanova. This is a huge game for Providence tonight. So for Creighton, it would just be a really impressive win on the road in order, to get it tonight. And then the hope is that Providence doesn't shoot 1,000,000,000% from the field.
Yeah, that would be good for Creighton.
It would be helpful.
Yeah.
It would be helpful in order for them to win the game. That's for sure.
Also, no overtime. Stop playing overtime games.
Stop playing overtime games on the road.
You don't.
What? We don't need to stretch our time.
You don't have the bodies for this
on the East Coast. And we'll see how they do it. I mean, that's a good point, Josh, that you make. We'll see how they do it. If they need to get Kalkbrenner arrests tonight, do they go back to Fred King after the disaster from Friday, or do they, figure something else out?
Feels like it's worth a try to try something else.
We'll see.
At this point,
we'll see. I mean, the Butler game was just a bad matchup, I think, for Trout. So maybe you can get him in there, and he certainly, he had a pretty limited role in non-con as well, but his role has been different. He hasn't been as prolific. He hasn't made enough shots in conference play for him to demand to be out there either. So that's always going to be a talking point if they lose the game. Hey, why don't they have a bench? Well, the short answer is they just don't. I don't know what to tell you. They just don't. Will it affect them come NCAA tournament time? I don't know. Will it affect them in a road game like this? Maybe. It's not like Providence is throwing a whole bunch of bodies at you either. So they're already obviously down a guy in Bryce Hopkins earlier in the season. You know what they are. Devin Carter is going to be trying to get fouls everywhere. Oduro and Kalkbrenner is a horrible, horrible matchup for Providence. I mean, Kalkbrenner is a great matchup for Creighton against Providence.
Feed the tree man.
Yeah, get the ball to the tree man and go from there. And their guards are tough and good, as they always are. So Trey Alexander, Devin Carter, however that works out. But yeah, tree man, that's a good way to push it tonight for the Jays, who are minus 2.5, on the road, favored by 2.5. Ken Palm, my little Ken Palm.
What's your little Ken Palm thing you say about tonight?
Says Creighton by 1.
Oh,
1.
Interesting.
Josh, I'll make you make a pick again. Will you be more wishy-washy this time, or are you going to make me go first?
Give me the Jays here. Why?
You're a homer.
I don't know why.
You're a homer. That's why. I got to be honest with you. I don't like the vibes here. I really don't.
This feels like Providence's last stand.
Yes.
And that's a scary scenario.
At the same time, you could stomp them out. And I think there is some motivation for Creighton, and not everything is about motivation, but like there is some motivation for Creighton to not look how it did on Friday, even though there's not much to tweak and adjust because it was an outstanding display of shot making by Butler.
Right.
I do think there is a motivation to be like, hey, that's not who we are.
We can play defense.
Yeah,
we'll show you.
We can play defense. We can out-tough somebody.
Might be some challenges coming from Greg.
Yeah.
In the locker room.
Yeah, I think so. So if we're honest, I don't like Creighton minus 2.5. But it'd be a big win for them on the road if they can get it tonight. We'll take a quick timeout, come back, wrap up a couple things before we get out of here on the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
Previously on the crossover.
A horny industrial
leather industrial. John has a lot of questions.
Yeah. I do have a lot of questions.
Will
Where
John
can I
get
find
any?
one? What is this horny industrial leather show?
Black Blade?
What made them industrially horny?
Should we just play 20 questions with this tweet?
What made them industrial horny?
Amazing question.
Mornings with Sharp and Hanley. The Connor Happer Show. Unsportsmanlike conduct. 6A to 6P. 1620. The Zone. Your Omaha area forecast from the Godfather's Pizza Weather Center and KETV News Watch 7 on 1620 The Zone.
A strong south wind for the remainder of your Wednesday. Temperatures climbing to near 60 degrees. Overnight, you could see a sprinkle leading into 40-degree temperatures for tomorrow morning. Maybe a sprinkle throughout the day tomorrow as well, but temperatures still warming to near 60 degrees tomorrow. I'm meteorologist Luke Vickery, KETV News Watch 7.
There is only one constant in the universe, and that's change.
Brent Rasmussen of Mortgage Specialists.
I'm sure many of you remember the incredibly low interest rates that were available only a few years ago. Well, things changed. Now rates are higher. But would you believe me if I told you there was a time when people were paying double-digit rates? And that's the thing. Everything changes. Rates go up, rates go down. So if you're waiting for the perfect time when rates drop before you buy a home, you might miss out on the home you really want. So when you think about it, what's a thing today might not be a thing tomorrow. See? Change is good. I'm Brent Rasmussen. Call me at Mortgage Specialists, and we can show you all the details. Mortgage Specialists. Driven, trusted, reliable.
Click mtg-specialists.com. NMLS number 5918, Equal Housing Lender.
Car repair is car repair. Most places you go can change your oil or fix your brakes. The difference is the experience you'll get at Omaha Car Care. We're part of the community. We were born here, and we believe that our relationship with you should be built to last. We're going to consult you, not sell you. We're going to give you a free loaner car. We're going to treat you like a valued friend that we want to continue to see in the years to come. I'm Rick Betker, owner of Omaha Car Care, and we'll be along for the ride.
It's the most time-honored tradition to start the weekend, grabbing a cold one from a local Nebraska brewery. Let's be real here. It's cold outside, and you don't want to drink the same boring beer as those Hawkeye fans. Drink Nebraska brewed beer, cider, or seltzers instead. Each week, we're putting the spotlight on a unique Nebraska brewery with One Beer Friday. Share your brew on social media with the hashtag One Beer Friday, and you'll be entered to win a $25 gift card to a local Nebraska brewery. Nebraska is the good life with great beer. Click nebraska.beer to learn more.
Some days I cover up because of my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis. Now I'm hitting the road with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Skyrizi, 3 out of 4 people achieved 90% clearer skin at 4 months. And Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis, and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
If you're looking for the perfect plan for Valentine's Day, Agave Azteca has the Valentine special just for you. Enjoy an unforgettable moment with your love in a charming atmosphere with live music, 2 dishes of your choice, 2 drinks, and a dessert, all for only $49.95. But that's not all. They have a daily lunch menu from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. for just $7 Monday through Friday, and the dinner menu from 6 to 9 p.m. for just $10 Monday through Thursday. 5170 South 72nd Street in Ralston. Agave Azteca, the shortcut to Mexico.
Chris Brockman here from the world-famous Rich Eisen Show. Football's regular season may be over, but that doesn't mean your fantasy season is. The big game is right around the corner, and basketball season is really heating up. There's no better way to get in on the action than with PrizePicks, the #1 daily fantasy sports app. This isn't like other daily fantasy apps where you're playing against a bunch of sharks. It's just you against the numbers. And with the right selections, you could turn $10 into $1,000 with just a few taps. For the big game, I'm picking San Francisco's running back over touchdowns and Kansas City's tight end over receptions. With over 7 million sports fans already signed up, I am one of them. Right now, PrizePicks will match your first deposit up to $100. They're even offering a big game special. If Kansas City's quarterback throws for more than 1 yard, you win. Just download the PrizePicks app and use the code PRIMETIME. That's code PRIMETIME on PrizePicks for a first deposit match of up to $100. PrizePicks. Pick more. Pick less. It's that easy. Must be present in certain states. Visit PrizePicks.com for restrictions and details.
Creighton Athletics would like to thank Methodist Hospital and CHI Health for their continued support of the annual Creighton versus Cancer Pink Out Games. All funds raised support the American Cancer Society's Hope Lodge, Nebraska. Through continued efforts and financial contributions, we look to increase cancer awareness through this great event. Methodist Hospital and CHI Health, proud sponsors of the 13th annual Creighton versus Cancer Pink Out Games.
Interesting question from the text line. I wonder why this person is wondering this. From the 402.
Hi, 402.
If Creighton wins, will it be a Q1 or a Q2?
Very important. I hear Q1s are worth more than Q2s, but I don't know that to be
it is
certain.
It is better.
Okay.
It is better to have Q1s than Q2s. Providence has the current net ranking of 58.
That's top 75.
It is top 75. It should be a road game for Creighton, so that would make it a quad 1 victory. Now here's the thing about the Qs, the quads. When you lose at home, generally, it's bad. It doesn't help you. So by winning my question is for the quad watchers, for the net watchers, why even win? Because it's going to hurt your strength of schedule so much. If you win, it makes the other team bad.
Mm-hmm.
That's my question. I would just rather.
Great point.
I'd rather lose.
Hadn't thought of that.
Just,
I mean,
just go off a strength of schedule.
You want to help your net, don't you?
Yeah.
You want to help your SOS.
By the way, for the net watching Nebraska fans, winning on the road at Nebraska is a quad 1 win. And there's only one team that's done that this year. Creighton. Yeah, that's right. Let's check on K-State today. Up to 77, Josh. 2 spots away from being a quad 1.
Here we go.
Watch out. Here come the Wildcats.
They got that tricky one at a ranked BYU team Saturday.
Yeah, they're going to go up for that because they're going to lose and it'll be close. And, it's very important. Also, one more Creighton question from the 202.
Hi, 202.
I know you've seen way more Creighton games than me, but I always wonder why Trout doesn't play more. Big and strong shooting guard. Well, big, not a shooting guard. Has a tough time with mobility, right? I'd like to see him in there as a small ball 5, maybe a little bit more, especially if the Fred option doesn't work. But like I said, Creighton doesn't have to. The luxury of having Ryan Kalkbrenner goes many different ways, and one of them, far down the line, is you don't have to get terribly creative because he's only going to be off the floor for 5 minutes a game because he doesn't get in foul trouble. So you just have to figure out how to survive the 5 minutes. You don't have to put that much thought into it. Unless you're getting absolutely crushed in the 5 minutes, which Creighton was on Friday, and then it becomes a little bit of an issue. Then you got to think about it some more.
I would love for that to be Greg McDermott's answer after the game. I don't really think about it much.
Hey, what are you trying to do in those 5 minutes?
Survive.
I don't know. I don't really think about it that much.
I don't think
really have to think
it's
about
just 5 minutes.
All right, I got another take for you, Josh.
Oh, please.
So here's my takes of the day. Billie Eilish is Music Ichiro.
Not wrong, although it hits the ear wrong.
UCLA is the Rutgers of the West.
Okay, show your work.
So Chip Kelly is literally throwing himself at any NFL job he could find. He interviewed yesterday to be the offensive coordinator of the Seattle Seahawks, and he's praying to God that he gets it. He's been like publicly saying, "Hey, maybe if there's an NFL opportunity that comes up."
Remember that day he got fired and then didn't?
Yes, yes, I do. Great day. He wants any job he can find. He wants out of UCLA. He wants to do everything he can to not be the coach of UCLA. UCLA has a very significant money issue at the moment.
It's why they're moving conferences.
The Big Ten is going to bail them out, but probably not enough.
Sure.
And then they have to travel all these Olympic teams, and there'll be protections in there for that and all that stuff. UCLA basketball, horrible.
Not good.
Why'd you hire Mick Cronin? One of the worst fits I could possibly think of. Hey, let's hire a coach who literally doesn't care about offense, about UCLA. Great idea. You could do that at Cincinnati, not at UCLA. It doesn't work.
They're like shows and stars and La La Land.
You could do that where you don't have good access to good players.
Uh-huh.
Not at UCLA. All right. And they've been okay the last couple of years. They had Jaime Jaquez. He's covered up a lot of their issues, clearly, as you now see in his NBA career. He's been pretty good.
Yeah.
So they stink at football. They stink at basketball. Their coach wants to leave, and they have athletic department budget problems. They are the team that is getting a free ride into the Big Ten Conference. Rutgers, you've proven your worth a little bit, right? Had some pretty good basketball teams under Steve Peichel. Football's starting to come around. You're in the Pinstripe Bowl last year. Here comes Schiano. Like, you're starting to prove yourself a little bit, right? Maybe UCLA has just taken up all of the negative energy that Rutgers used to have. They by osmosis, they have taken up that spot as like the kind of like poverty Big Ten team. That's UCLA. Imagine, and it's amazing. It's a tradition-rich program. It has people. It has found itself a market in a place that's notoriously difficult to find yourself a market as a college sports team. It has inherent value in the city of Los Angeles, UCLA. But when they're not good, there's no reason for anyone to show up. There's no reason for anybody to care. And they haven't had a good product in years. Chip Kelly wants to leave. Chip Kelly's won football games there. They've had good players. They're just floating right along. They're riding off the coattails of everybody else in the Big Ten. We'll take that paycheck. We'll try and create a good team eventually when we get around to it. We understand that nobody wants to be here. Hopefully we run into a good coach somewhere along down the line. For now, we'll take our $1 billion paycheck. Thank you. Thank you very much.
He's seen fully funded college programs. He's seen NFL organizations, and he's walking the halls there at UCLA going, this ain't that.
Travis on the YouTube.
Hi, Travis.
UCLA just might be. He sounds like somebody agrees with me.
Sure does.
Had a recent amount of success, had a good amount of success a long time ago, but hasn't done anything of note in recent memory. Yeah, just know, like, it doesn't mean, like, by the way, I'm not making any proclamations about like Nebraska versus UCLA in football next year, anything like that. Like, there's no guarantees there, but they will find, more than any of their other West Coast friends who are joining the Big Ten, they will find that this is going to be very, very difficult.
Growing pains.
This is going to be very, very difficult for them.
And he's 35 and 34. at UCLA, 26-26 in the Pac-12.
Well, and if Chip Kelly gets his way, he's not going to be the coach there next year,
Right?
And then they got to they got to cobble something together in the span of 6 months to figure out a football team.
And that's when you pounce if you're Nebraska.
Now, to be fair, I don't know if anybody wants to hire Chip Kelly, who kind of was just ousted from the NFL. So I don't know if anybody wants to do that.
Only takes one.
It'd be quite the significant change. But yeah, not good. It's gonna be some time for UCLA. All right, we'll be back. Poll questions. We'll tell you what to watch on the other side on the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
Omaha's most listened to all sports radio station. Again and again and again. 1620 The Zone.
The Zone Hotline is powered by 42 Degrees, The Source, by your mom's house.
Hi, everybody. Kent Pavelka here with why I chose Everlevel Concrete Repair for my driveway. They do it all. They fix cracks, lift sunken slabs, protect the finished product from deterioration, and all at a fraction of the price of replacement. It's not a Band-Aid like other repair methods. Everlevel's products are designed to last, which is why they've been voted Best of Omaha again this year. Better yet, it all comes with a transferable warranty. Protect your concrete before winter. Call Everlevel today for your free inspection. Everlevel. They make your driveway Everlevel. Level up.
Email any of our shows anytime into the Equitable Bank inbox. At Equitable, we take banking personally. For me, John at 1620thezone.com. The Equitable Bank inbox from 1620 The Zone.
Host is roasting every morning. Host is roasting every day.
Put your coffee department in good hands with Host Coffee Service, providing direct delivery and loaned coffee equipment with service programs. If you're ready to change to a better coffee provider, it's time for Host Coffee.
Omaha's best coffee since 1972. Host Coffee is always roasting something good for you.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank and Celtic Bank, members of FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
Are you the decision maker in your company? Consider this. For the first time in decades, there's a better option for a corporate card and spend management platform. Meet Ramp, the only corporate card and spend management system designed to help you spend less money so you can make more. Most corporate credit cards offer points as incentives, but those points amount to less than their worth in real cash value. Ramp's corporate cards offer you cash back, real money in your pocket. Plus, you control who spends what with each vendor. And Ramp software collects and verifies receipts automatically, which means you'll stop wasteful spending and close your books in hours instead of days. Businesses that use Ramp add up to 5% to their bottom line the first year. If you're a decision maker, adding Ramp could be one of the best decisions you've ever made. And now get $250 when you join Ramp. Just go to ramp.com/sports. Ramp.com/sports. ramp.com/sports.
Hi, this is Stacey McElligott, Director of Sales for NRG Media Omaha. NRG Media is looking for an accomplished bilingual new business development salesperson who wants to take their success and skills to the next level. Is this you? Our multimedia account executives work with local businesses to create marketing plans to help them get more customers. On air, digital, on site, audio, video, it's all part of what you could sell. A sales career with NRG Media lets you make a real difference in our community. Get more info and apply online at nrgmedia.com. NRG Media is an equal opportunity employer.
You know what Mentality can help you with? Low energy, motivation, weight gain, muscle loss, fatigue, tired all the time, feeling anxious, moody, irritability, impatience, anxiety, and depression. Mentality can help you with their board-certified physicians and their testosterone treatments that can take care of you and get you back in the game. You can regain normal function and restore your ability to perform normally at all levels just by Mentality. Set up an appointment today. Go to lowtusa.com. Get back in the game. Don't sit on the sidelines and let Mentality lead the way.
Full questions, had a couple today at Happer Show. I'd say few in quantity, big in quality today. I like the quality. I like it.
I like it a lot.
Does it feel like March 29th?
I think you were pretty spot on with this take.
The
audience
outside,
disagrees.
Really? If you've been outside today, you would understand. It's 58 degrees. There's a wind. There's clouds. It's March 29th. It's got March 29th written all over it. 59% say no at this moment.
Sad.
Do you like the movie Dodgeball? Nebraska is the most obsessed state with dodgeball, according to some. 87% say yes.
That's the most voted on poll question of the day, by the way.
Are you obsessed with Dumb and Dumber? I am. We are, of course.
Yeah.
I imagine this is going to come in lower than dodgeball. I'm going to guess 82% are obsessed with Dumb and Dumber. Wow. I'm embarrassed. You guys suck.
Yeah.
65% say no.
No.
You guys are canceled. Poll questions are done. You guys don't get to vote anymore.
I'm not obsessed, Connor.
Who eats popcorn in a more dignified manner? Connor Happer or Jim Nance? Jim Nance.
Definitely.
Self-scout on that one. 72% say Jim Nance. 28% say Connor Happer. And finally, does Billie Eilish know who Ichiro is?
Not a chance.
Nah, I don't think so. 87% say no. I thought the poll question should have been, is Billie Eilish the Ichiro of music?
Well, we could do that when I get back to the office, maybe.
We could still do it, I guess. But then we'd have two Billie Eilish Ichiro questions.
Yeah.
But yeah,
difficult sell.
I hope you guys enjoyed that. That was my one coherent thought of the day. Those are the poll questions at Happer Show. Josh, what are we watching tonight?
ESPN NBA doubleheader, 6:30 start for Warriors Sixers. No Joel Embiid for the next month for the Sixers after a.
But did he have surgery or did he have a torn something?
He had a procedure on a meniscus injury. They will not say torn nor surgery even for Joel Embiid. Pelicans Clippers, your nightcap at 9:00.
State-run basketball.
NHL on TNT doubleheader, Lightning Rangers from MSG at 6:00, followed by Wild Blackhawks at 8:30. College basketball, number 19, Creighton at Providence, 7:30 start on FS2.
The Deuce.
Tonight.
Dave Sims, I believe, is doing the game. He's back.
Oh, hello.
Speaking
Dave.
of the Mariners, Ichiro, Dave Sims. There you go.
Then Nebraska Northwestern, 8:00 start on BTN from Evanston.
Evanston. That is correct. Let's find out who's doing that.
Yeah. Who you got? Announce their schedules.
Seamus. Let's see.
Who you got?
Come on. Huskers look to back at Northwestern. This will be broadcast on the channel
Big Ten Network
known as the Big Ten Network, and it will be called by Connor Onion and Stephen Bardo.
Okay.
Bardo, we miss you, bro.
Iron Bowl.
Does Isaiah Roby know how good he is yet? We may never know.
ESPN 2, 6:00. You got the Iron Bowl on the hardwood. Number 16, Alabama at number 12, Auburn. Notre Dame at number 9, Duke. 8:00 on ACC Network, so you know Connor won't be watching it. Disney Plus has the streaming premiere of The Marvels. It is the sequel to Captain Marvel.
Pass.
I think 9 people saw that movie. That's not a statement on women in any way, just the state of the MCU. Season 3 premiere of Abbott Elementary at 8:00 tonight on ABC. Donna Kelsey is on the Price is Right at night tonight. I believe that's 7:00.
The Price is Right
on CBS
at night
with Drew Carey.
Okay.
And finally at 9:00 on ABC, the season 2 premiere of Judge Steve Harvey. Steve Harvey renders judgment on feuds over a honeymoon, unpaid sports bets, and a bad haircut.
If our noticeable absence of TV game show hosts, or like the dwindling of TV game show hosts, results in just Steve Harvey being on TV more, I'm actually okay.
Yeah, I'm very okay with that.
If we need to usher in the next generation of game shows and game show hosts, then I'm fine with Steve Harvey just hosting all of the game shows. In the meantime,
if Ryan Seacrest, like if Steve Harvey had as many jobs as Ryan Seacrest, and he's approaching that territory, I'd be okay with that.
I would be too. More Steve Harvey is good. Josh, thank you.
Thank you, Connor.
That is the show. If you missed anything, 1620thezone.com is where you can find it. Don't forget Creighton pregame coverage tonight.
6:00.
6:00. And then John takes it over at 7 on the Zone and Decay.
That is correct.
Excellent. The crossover is next.
Live from the Host Coffee Studio, this is 1620 The Zone.
What goes great with football? Rib Shack Down Home Barbecue and Soul Food. Let Miss Jackie cater your next event with slow-cooked St. Louis ribs, wings, beef brisket, and pulled pork. Visit the Rib Shack in Roxbury Plaza at 108th and Q or at ribshacksmokehouse.com.
If you're looking for a safe and reliable vehicle to get you through all types of winter weather and more, Baxter Subaru has you covered. Symmetrical all-wheel drive comes standard on nearly all Subaru models and provides you better traction, improved stability, and maximized performance on wet and snowy roads. Subaru's all-wheel drive also enhances off-road capabilities. Get incredible deals and great lease offers today on all our new Subaru models. Or shop anytime at BaxterSubaruOmaha.com.
There's a lot more to love for a lot less at Salt's Jewelry and Loan. Now through Valentine's Day, get 50% off a huge selection of jewelry. Heart-shaped jewelry, gemstones, everything you need to show your love. Some exclusions apply. See store for details. It's the Celebration of Love sale with 50% off jewelry at Salt's Jewelry and Loan.
Email us on the Equitable inbox with whatever is on your mind. The Zone inbox is brought to you by Equitable Bank. We take banking personally. You can hit me up, agree, disagree, tell me your thoughts on life at Hanley@1620thezone.com. We want to hear from you on the Equitable Bank Zone inbox.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
If you're having problems in the bedroom, talking about it is the last thing you want to do. Same goes for hair loss, anxiety, or even depression. That's where HIMS comes in. Through HIMS, you don't have to talk about it. You can do something about it. Just go to hims.com/start, where you can find a variety of potential solutions for the problems men face every day and save up to 95% on generic alternatives. The entire process is 100% online, making it incredibly simple, straightforward, and above all, private. If prescribed, treatments made using clinically proven ingredients are shipped directly to your door in low-key packaging. So if you're experiencing ED, hair loss, anxiety, or problems with your general health, you don't have to go to the doctor or the pharmacy or spend all day talking about it. Just go to hims.com/start and do something about it. Get started today at hims.com/start. That's HIMS.com/START.
Tell us how you feel on the J-Tech Construction and Solar Zone Twitter feed. Reach Gary, Nick, Connor, Josh, and John anytime on the J-Tech Construction and Solar Zone Twitter feed. Contact the official exterior and solar experts of the Huskers. J-Tech Construction at yourexteriorexperts.com.
John and Josh here for the FanDuel Sportsbook Super Bowl 58. We've got your action on FanDuel with a no-sweat same-game parlay. When you bet on Super Bowl 58 on FanDuel, one game can mean a lot of wins on America's #1 sportsbook. You got the money line bet, you got the team side, you got the totals, and all of the prop bets right now. I am picking the Chiefs. Take Patrick Mahomes over 1.5 touchdowns thrown another one, and you can win big. Go to FanDuel.com/1620. Get signed up.
John, we disagree on a lot of things, and we're disagreeing on Super Bowl 58. I like the 49ers to get the victory, so maybe combine them with something else that you like. Maybe George Kittle to score an anytime touchdown. Again, FanDuel.com/1620. Sign up today. 21 plus and present in Iowa. Minimum 3-leg parlay required. Refund issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 7 days after receipt. Max refund $5 unless otherwise specified. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-BETS-OFF.
Hi, we're the Goo Goo Dolls. We're fortunate that we can give our daughters everything they need to grow and learn. But not every child can focus on classes and play dates.
Nearly 13 million kids in the U.S. face hunger. That's 1 in 6. School lunch might be their only meal each day, and it's heartbreaking to imagine any child going to bed hungry. We're dreaming of a perfect day when kids can smile, play, and just be kids without worrying about where their next meal will come from. Feeding America is working to make that perfect day a reality.
Each year, the Feeding America network of food banks rescues billions of pounds of good food that would have gone to waste. That food is given to families and children in need. Being a kid should be about doing things that make an ordinary day extraordinary. Learning to play an instrument, building a sandcastle, hosting tea